Хөрхөн охид trap сонсон trap сонсон trap донсон түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан даалж дуулан дур булаан мууруулаа
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I am here with Weendawg.
What's up, dude?
As well as my friend, my co-wrestling coach, and a guy who just won the LA Open Jiu-Jitsu Brown Belt Division, Marine wrestler, just all-around great guy, Tyler Smith. How are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We got a great show today. We have Tyron Woodley, the UFC champion, calling in. We have the champ. Although Colby says he's the champ, Tyron says he's the champ. We got to get to the bottom of this. We also have two-time gold medalist Kayla Harrison calling in. I mean, how cool is that? As well as Pan Am champion, Abu Dhabi champion, and
EBI, multiple EBI
champion. The dude is just one of the greatest guys, one of the greatest jiu-jitsu guys in the whole world, who Colby Covington said that he can beat. And a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu world don't think that Colby can beat him. Gary Tonin is calling in. So it's going to be a great, great show. First, I want to thank our sponsor, Speedweed. Listen, people, marijuana is legal in California. That's right, it's legal. And there's no reason you should have to leave your house to get it. You leave your house, you can get into a car accident, gas is expensive, all kinds of things. People are busy. And you go to a dispensary, there's lines now down the block at dispensaries. You should see it in LA. I mean, it's not just like, you go and you buy five. I mean, it takes you hours sometimes to get weed. However, Speedweed has you covered. They have everything from marijuana to vape to CBD to flour they have marijuana beef jerky. Edible beef jerky. They have mints. They have all kinds of stuff. They have breath spray. They even have sex lube, marijuana sex lube, which I don't want to use it on my wife yet because I don't want our kid coming out stoned, okay, because she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. But I heard it's very good. Joe, I'm going to give you some. I want you to use it with a girl, okay. Not just on yourself. But I'm telling you, go to speedweed.com. They got you covered. Speedweed.com. Mention MMA Roasted. You get $10 off. Orders $100 or more. Also, people, listen. Sexual performance issues are more common than you think. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under the age of 40. I just turned 40. Joe, how old are you? 22, 23?
22.
22?
Yeah.
Have you ever had sex issues yet?
No.
All right,
really,
just
thankfully.
wait. Tyler, you're 32. It's going to happen to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And 40% of men by age 40 struggle with not being able to get and maintain an erection. Even the world's greatest actor cannot fake one. And why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science? Listen, you have a headache, you take Tylenol, okay? You have you have a cold, you take cold medicine. So now you should take erectile dysfunction medicine and go to 4hims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, erectile dysfunction can be optional. Hims connects you to real doctors with medical-grade solutions to treat ED. Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you combat ED. No snake oil pills or gas station or counter supplements. Prescription solutions backed by science. One ED pill starting with a V just came off a patent on December 11th, and it's a game changer. No waiting room, no awkward doctor visits. That's the worst. You go to a doctor, what are you here for? I don't know, my penis isn't working. This is not a fun thing to talk about. Mm-hmm. So, I'm telling you guys, it's hard made easy. Say hello to your little friend. Try Hims for a month for just $5. I'll get you started for just $5 while supplies last. See their website for full details. This will cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to hims.com/MMA Roasted. That's FORHIMS.com/MMA Roasted. 4hims.com/MMA Roasted. So, it's been a good week. I did the show last week at the Dime Bar. It was fun. I was on stage, and there was a guy in the crowd. It was a black gentleman, and I was like, so, what do you do, sir? And he was like, I'm a comic. You booked me here before. And I was like, my bad. And he was like, no, I quit. He goes, I bombed so bad, I haven't done comedy since. And I'm like, come on, man. Everyone has bad sets. That's part of the game. It's like saying I went to jiu-jitsu and I got tapped, so I never went back. It's just, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what do you do now? And he's like, I'm a personal trainer. I'm like, how are you going to motivate people when you quit? What are they going to be like? Oh, I can't get the bar open. I quit. Me too. I mean, come on. So that was fun. And then what else did me and the wife? It was our first year wedding anniversary. One year.
Very nice.
Yeah, which was nice.
Congratulations.
I was so late on the thank you cards. Like I was a year late. You're supposed to send like thank you cards like 2 months, but then I was like, my mom passed away. It's just been a crazy year. So I wrote on the cards, thanks, sorry for the late response. I'm not sure it was going to last this long.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, at least I got that. And then I started heckling people, like on the thank you cards. Like I was like, hey, thanks for coming. Glad my marriage lasted longer than yours. I was just I was having way too much fun with it.
Did you catch flag from anybody?
No, they haven't got him yet. So I don't know. And like, of course, my handwriting is like a third grader, so they're going to know that I actually wrote it. But my wife did hers like 6 months ago. She's waited for me to do mine because she didn't want to do it for me. She's like, no, I want them to know it came from you. I'm like,
Oh, that's
thanks.
awesome. Well, yeah. Well,
It was nice.
get what you asked for, right?
Yeah, and then some people didn't get me gifts. I wanted to be like, thanks for the gift. Oh, and then cross it out. Sorry, thanks for showing up. I wanted to just be a real dick about it.
Yeah.
But there was some people that didn't get me a gift, like Joe, you. But I like didn't do that. I wasn't gonna do that. I'm kidding. You're my gift. So anyway, that was fun.
But did you get it in at least on your anniversary?
Did I get laid? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Of course I got laid. Yeah.
Nice.
It was fun. Although, when you get pregnant, like I didn't know that vaginas get much tighter. I'm not sure if you know this. but-
Really?
yeah,
What?
just so you know.
Interesting.
Not that my wife has a loose vagina. It's tight. It's perfect as it is. She has the perfect vagina. And I've done my research. But what I'm saying is that like when I was going in, it was like hurting her. So she was like, "Be nice," and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, "You're really pretty." She's like, "That's not what I meant, asshole." So that was kind of funny. I was just actually having fun.
But do you prefer like a big vagina or like a little tiny vagina?
I mean, I think the tighter the better. You don't
Yeah.
want like something that you could like hide in.
Yeah.
You know. At the same time, I'm not gonna discriminate. I'm not one of those guys who's like it's more like the smell and like the upkeep.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's like
for sure.
Doesn't matter if it's like a van or like a smart car. It doesn't as long as it's got that new car smell.
As long as it can take me where I need to go.
And there aren't people already in it, and there aren't like cigarette butts hanging out and all kinds of. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So that was that, but yeah, so that was cool, and then it was just it's weird though. Like, she's pregnant, and I was like, sometimes I like say things. I was looking at her face, and we were in bed together, and I'm like, you're still pretty. And she's like, still?
Oh.
I was like, no, I meant stay still, pretty. So she's like, that's not what you said. So I was just like, oh god. So anyway, but it was good. I was like, I've been having fun, and then we went to a movie called Tag. See Tag?
No. Was it good?
It was pretty good. I had very low expectations. It's about these guys in their 40s that have been playing tag for the last 25 years. And it's based on a real story. And there's one guy, Jeremy Renner, who's a great actor, that they can never catch. So, but they live all around the world. So they like every May they have a game of tag, and they go crazy trying to do it. And it's a fun movie. The problem with the movie was at the end, because it's like got Jeremy Renner and Ed Helms and all these like, the guy
John Hamm,
John
right?
Hamm.
Yeah.
All these great looking guys are playing tag, But then at the end they show the real people, and it's these fat slobs, not shot well. Like
This is based on a true story.
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, no wonder you were playing tag all through high school. You weren't fucking getting laid. Right?
Nerds.
Yeah, it was a bunch of fucking fat goofballs, and I'm like, man, this kind of killed the movie. I always say never would have showed that, or showed it at the beginning or something, but it just kind of ruined it for me because I don't know. It's just sort of like when you see it's like when Tanya Harding, the girl who played Tanya Harding.
Oh yeah.
She was like kind of hot in the movie, and then you see the real
like
Tanya Harding, and you're like,
I hate
ugh.
when they get like pretty people and they're like, oh, we're gonna show how good of an actor you are by just making you really ugly, and then everybody will see your talent.
Yeah, it's complete.
Just get an
bullshit.
ugly person, man.
Dude, I saw this movie.
What'd you
I
say?
saw this movie this past weekend called Hereditary. Dude,
Nope.
it's probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in like 20 years, dude.
Really?
No, thank you.
Yes.
You saw it in like
Not
the
for
theater,
me.
or you got it?
Theater, dude. It's probably one of the best movies I've seen.
Who did you go
because
with?
Just my cousin and my uncle.
Yeah.
See, because it's like you watch the trailer for it and you expect one thing, and you go and watch it. It's like a completely different thing. You had no idea this was going to happen. It's very smart, very well made.
Oh, wow.
It's freaking awesome, dude. You want to get some pussy? Go see that movie.
How
Well, I mean, like bring a girl to the movie, not like.
why would a girl want to go see that movie?
Because it's like very disturbing, and she could be holding on to the entire time. You know, get some action.
So you want to scare him into bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good technique.
It's like that. What was that movie that where they sew people's asses to the
Human Centipede. That's a good
Human
one.
Centipede?
Yeah.
Is that like a romantic film for you?
I mean, it depends on the girl. If she's a dirty bitch, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if
You
she's
like role play Human Centipede?
I mean, that's my. I'll take the back centipede. I wouldn't be in the middle of the centipede or the front. I'd be in the very back.
The very back?
That's
Why
the
wouldn't
one
you be the
eating-
front?
Isn't that the
bro?
one eating assholes?
You want to be the
Hell
front?
yeah.
That's what you want to do?
But I'm so self-conscious. I can't have somebody eating my asshole, eating my shit. out
You'd
of my
rather eat
ass.
someone else's shit?
Yeah.
That is so weird.
like-
You'd rather
more-
eat someone else's shit than worry about like, oh, what if my shit doesn't taste
Because you're
like
self-conscious.
shitty enough?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Have you ever seen a therapist?
Yeah. When I was little, I did see a therapist.
How'd it go?
I mean, I only went for a couple sessions. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
All right. Well, and then
That'd be a good idea.
and then the Gopher Wrestling Club is alive and well. We had practice this week. Ahmed, I actually got him a scholarship to wrestling camp.
You serious?
And he went to
Yeah.
wrestling camp that Kenny Johnson, who's Bubba Jenkins' coach and
Bolt Wrestling.
Alan Javon's
Shout out to
coach.
Bolt Wrestling.
And Cyborg took the camp with him. She
awesome.
took all the classes. Like, how cool is that?
That's pretty
And
cool.
so she was there, and I had 3 kids on my team go there. That was awesome. And then we had practice over here on Saturday, and me and Tyler came, and then my friend Aldo and Jay Moore showed up.
Yeah,
And it was
that
the
was
first time I ever
random.
met Jay Moore.
He just
And-
randomly showed up to your garage?
well, he's friends with the other coach, Aldo, and he's been coaching wrestling, and he came and helped with the kids, and he was super nice, and
That's awesome.
just
Super cool guy.
A bunch of high school kids came, so that was awesome. So Tyler, you're an interesting guy,
Yo.
man. So I met Tyler.
Sure.
One of my old kids that I used to coach, Ryan. I used to coach this kid, Ryan, who was a great wrestler, one of my favorite kids, just a nice kid. One of these, like an old soul, like a kid that even when he was 12 and 13, he was really like 20. You know,
Right.
he just had like cool, I never had to raise my voice. If anything, I had to build him up a little bit. You know, like he was more nervous than he should have been. So he's helped me coach, and I needed help because I was always away. He's like, I'm going to bring my friend Tyler in. I goes, has Tyler ever wrestled before? He's like, no, but he knows jiu-jitsu. I'm like, perfect, all right? So then Tyler comes, and he's great with the kids, and he's motivating, and he's a Marine. So right away, kids that are late, he's like, oh, you're 4 minutes late? You owe me 4 minutes after practice. And I'm like, this guy's fucking godsend. Because now the kids he's giving them a workout.
It's awesome.
And he was like, I'm like, Tyler, what belt are you? He's like, I'm a brown belt. I'm like, well, why are you coaching wrestling? He's like, because I want to get better at jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, man, that is amazing, because so many things at times I think the people that do jiu-jitsu, when they go up against wrestlers, they have a tough time, but also they're learning wrestling from a college level. They're not learning it from a basic level. And it's like, if I only rolled with black belts,
Right.
or I would get better. But it would be a lot better if I rolled the people, or if I got explained to jiu-jitsu like you would to a white belt and a blue belt. I think that's the case. And you're learning fundamentals. But tell me a story. Tell me where how you got good at it, because you also did MMA. Talk to me.
So I started in the Marine Corps with the Marine Corps Martial Arts program, which is just a mixture of a bunch of different techniques. They had Ken Shamrock. Was one of the guys that created it. Jeff Glover helped out. Actually, he still helps out. He still trains those guys down there. But that was like my introduction to grappling. I had been a UFC fan. This is back in like 2004, 2005 is when I joined. And we would grapple every so often, every
So
month
you started
or two.
grappling
Yeah,
so you
in the
had
Marine Corps.
So you had
we
no
had
prior grappling experience.
no prior experience. We had a mat room, so we would go to the mat room, and it was all very basic, like learning armbar from the guard, triangle from the guard,
Was it gi
armbar
or
from
no gi?
mount. No gi. You're in your camouflage bottoms and just a t-shirt. Sometimes you'd wear your flak jacket because it's supposed to simulate like you're being able to use this in combat, which is why it's also very basic. You know, you're not fighting.
And now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Yep.
Joined the Marines. Why?
Joined the Marines because it was one of those things where it was like the perfect storm of didn't like school, girlfriend broke up with me, fighting with my parents a lot and arguing. And I was just like, you know what,
So you're 18 years old?
I'm gonna go. I was 19.
19.
I was 19.
Joined the Marines. Now, where were you based in? Where did they put you?
Camp Pendleton.
So Camp Pendleton.
Yep.
Did you end up go to Iraq, Afghanistan? Did you go?
I didn't deploy. My unit deployed And there was a troop cap at the time. This was in 2009. And they ended up taking half of our battalion, and my name wasn't on the roster. So
Did you want to go?
I wanted to go. I was really pissed for a long time that I didn't. Just because, you know, that's as a Marine especially, that's your identity. Like, you train your whole career to go out and fight wars, and then you don't get to fight a war.
But you get to be in San Diego.
Yeah, but you get to be in San Diego.
Now there
so
are lots of hot chicks in San Diego.
tons.
Some of there's worse
Tons.
places to be.
And they're all sick of Marines, but you know, every once in a while you can trick one.
I'm sure that, yeah. So okay, so you're in Camp Pendleton. You're already a UFC fan, so you have some knowledge, a little bit of just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, from like watching it, just, you know, like people now, they can go on YouTube. We didn't really have that back then, so it was renting VHS tapes and watching, you know, UFC Ultimate Knockouts 1 on the VHS and just seeing what they're doing.
Now, were any of the
and how they're
guys
moving.
higher belts?
In the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
Nah, everybody was pretty basic. We had one or two guys that might have been like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, like they were training outside and they would come in and show us stuff, but it was all we were figuring it out.
How come you didn't go to Alliance or one of
Altogether.
these gyms over there?
No time.
No time, right?
No time.
So okay, so you trained 4 years. How long were you in the Marines for?
I was in the Marine for 6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
So you got out of the Marines. You're 25.
Got out of the Marines. I was 25. Started working at a restaurant, and I started training jiu-jitsu in 2009. Started training jiu-jitsu in 2009 at the place that I am now, Revolution Martial Arts, which back then was PTC Jiu-Jitsu in Culver City, and just fell in love with it. Fell in love with it, man. Fell in love with the jiu-jitsu. Made my way into MMA. Had a couple fights. Did not go my way.
Right. So right. Well, 'cause that's what I was saying. So I mean, like, so the first time I met you, well, the first time I was like, oh, so I get like I'm like, oh, you had a fight? Wow. It's so crazy. Somebody could be like, I cured cancer. That's cool, man. I had a fight. My eyes like, holy shit, really? It's like, I'm totally wired the wrong way. But anyway, so I was very I would probably be happy if you cure cancer too. So I was very excited.
I go,
how'd your fight go? You're like, oh, it lasted 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, you
6.
won? No, I got knocked out in 6 seconds. And I'm like, okay, so, all right, tell me about that experience.
So that experience, it was crazy. We took a fight. I was fighting out of Sparta MMA down in Gardena, which is now CMMA, Chad George's gym, CMMA. If you live in Gardena, go train there. So I took this fight. This guy, they said, oh, this guy's 3-0, 3 knockouts. Do you want to fight him? And I was 22, like, training for less than a year, out of the Marines, like, fuck yeah, I want to fight him. Let's go.
I mean, were you ripped? You in good shape?
I was in good shape. I was in great shape. I had great cardio. I was strong. But my mind hadn't made that switch to, like, this is the real, like, this is not sparring. This is not, you're in the gym with your boys. Like, you're in the fight now.
What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
I was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. And I had been doing boxing and Muay Thai for like a year and change. So I was competent, but just not wasn't ready for the speed, how fast it was going to be. I went out.
It's amateur, pro?
It was an amateur fight, pro rules, so no shin guards.
Headgear?
No headgear.
Now, what's the point of that? They make it pro or make it amateur.
Exactly.
Right, so
the point is so that they can make money and not have to give you any.
So you go out there, it's amateur fight, you're excited, you say your prayers.
I said my prayers.
What weight are you?
185.
Well, okay, and what?
Right now I weigh 175.
So you were 10. Now, did you cut any weight for this?
And I cut like 15 pounds.
You're a little
I was
fat.
walking. Yeah, I was a little. No, I wasn't fat. I was bigger. I was lifting.
Were you roiding at all or no?
No, I wasn't roiding. I wasn't roiding.
All right.
But I was lifting weights. I kind of stopped lifting weights.
So you go out there. The guy hits you with what?
Right hook. Clean right hook. I left a
right hook.
A lead right hook.
Not even a jab.
So I had stuck a jab out. And like I said, it was just that speed of the live fight versus training. Like, training, you can kind of paw your jab out there and just leave it out there, and your boy's not going to fucking hit you in the face right away. This dude swatted my hand down and came with the right hook, back of the jaw, and I went down.
Okay, so now, does he pounce on you, or the ref stops right then?
So he went to pounce on me. Fortunately, I was being reffed by the wonderful Kim Winslow.
Did she stand you up?
So I went down. It was a flash KO. My head hit the canvas, and I was back. And when he came in to pounce on me, I grabbed a single, and we were back up on our feet, and she's pulling me off, saying I got knocked out. And I was like, all right, well, fair enough.
Really?
It was a flash KO, fair.
But
She's
you knew
the
where you
ref.
were?
I knew where I was about 5 seconds later.
Okay, so actually it was a decent stoppage.
It was a decent stoppage. But I think I could have kept fighting if I had the opportunity.
Now that night, what does your corner tell you? Lucky punch or?
No, nothing really. I didn't want to hear anything. I went back to the locker room, threw some shit, and we got in the van and drove back to LA from Reno.
So 6 seconds. Now, at that point, do you say, maybe this is not for me?
No, I wanted my revenge. So we booked another fight. I had another fight scheduled at a grassroots event when they used to do the grassroots MMA at Savant Young's gym in Pasadena at Fight Academy, and showed up. Opponent didn't show up. So, all right, that one's in the books. Opponent didn't show up, whatever. I don't get my fight. And then a couple weeks later.
So you got to win for that or no?
No win, just no fight. Which actually I almost ended up fighting. They're trying to get Bill Cooper. This is when Bill Cooper was
Wild
still fighting
man, Bill
MMA.
Cooper.
They're like, Bill the Grill.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like asking him, like, hey, do you want to fight? Like, he was still an amateur. And I was like, hell, I'm not fighting Bill Cooper, man. Like,
Okay.
Guy's going to strangle me.
Right.
So then I ended up getting a fight down at Saboba on the undercard of a gladiator challenge. They had like an amateur event. Same thing. Pro rules, no shins, no headgear. And I fought a guy named Edward Hyman. And
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Fought a guy named Edward Hyman, and we beat the shit out of each other for 3 rounds, and he won a decision. And I said to myself, all right,
was it
I know I
close,
can
or?
do it. No, he won. I mean, he won. He beat me. I had one knockdown, and that was it.
But
A couple leg kicks, and he was just way more active. He was just more
Did he
active.
take you down?
Didn't take me down. He was just throwing a lot more. He's
Okay.
throwing, didn't necessarily connect a lot more. I was blocking everything, but like he threw probably 15 head kicks that I just ate on the arms, and like
Okay.
after that, I had a separated shoulder in the first round of that fight from a knee. So I finished the fight and decided that, MMA maybe I'll just do jiu-jitsu for a while.
Okay, so you've been just doing jiu-jitsu. You're a great coach, by the way. Although
Thank
you
you,
have to
man.
learn a couple
Thank
of rules.
you.
Like one of our kids, Ahmad, who speaks Russian, the ref was yelling at him about his headgear. He didn't know what the hell was going on. And then Tyler runs on the mat going, he doesn't speak English. And he's like, get the hell off the mat. And I was dying laughing.
Yeah,
but
hilarious.
you weren't allowed to do that, but I was laughing pretty fucking hard. I was like, hell yeah. That's the kind of guy you want to have in your corner.
Yeah.
But now you've been telling me you have that itch again.
I'm kind of having the itch again. I've been training some stand-up, doing a little sparring. Lost a bunch of weight, so I wouldn't have to be fighting these big guys anymore.
So now you're a brown belt.
And I'm a brown belt, so it's like I'll pull guard in an MMA fight. I'm
Really?
not scared. Oh yeah.
Come on.
I'm not. If I'm getting my ass beat on the feet,
but now you know wrestling.
I'll jump on you like a monkey.
Your wrestling's better.
Yeah, my wrestling's better. My wrestling's
Jiu-jitsu's
better.
great. I mean, you just won you're ranked second in the world right now?
For the SJJIF.
Now, what does that mean?
The Sports Jiu-Jitsu International Federation. There's the IBJJF and the SJJIF, which are like the 2 big ones.
Now, what are you ranked in the IBA?
I'm not ranked in IBJJF. I don't do any of their tournaments.
How come? You must have some reason.
IBJJF, man.
I have no idea what you're talking. This is all.
Okay, so you're new to the jiu-jitsu game. Basically, there's a lot of gripes with the IBJJF, in terms of rule sets and advantages. Like there was this whole big controversy that just happened at Worlds. Keenan Cornelius, who's an Atos black belt, should have won. Had the guys back. Should have got points. Didn't get points. The ref ended up giving the other guy the decision by advantage because he went for a sub and Keenan defended it. This was the explanation that they gave him. He defended it, so that means that he gets the advantage point.
The guy who
for
defended
going.
it?
No, the other guy, just for going for the submission.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So what does Gary Tonin
Basically,
rank
it
in?
boils down to other guy was Brazilian. Keenan's white. Brazilian ref. They gave it.
So like a guy like Gary Tonin, right? He's ranked number 1 in the world. Is that he ranked in the IBA or the other or whatever?
He probably is. I don't know that he's been. You can ask him. I don't know that he's been that active in the competition scene for them because they also don't pay. It's just like a regular like you pay to go to that tournament, and then you get a medal. Yeah, and then you get a medal. So it makes sense for the Gary Tonins and Gordon Ryans and Eddie Cummings, those guys, to be doing EBIs where they have a chance to make 20 grand, or doing super fights for Fight to Win where they're making 5 or 10 grand. You know.
So how many tournaments have you been in?
Dozens.
And now
over the course of a better part of a decade, 9 years or so.
9 years. And do you usually win coming first, or?
No, this last weekend was my first gold.
Congratulations,
my first
man.
gold in 9 years.
That's amazing. That's fucking awesome.
Thanks, man.
See, like I thought about, like, obviously I'm a long way away from even being in a white belt tournament. I just get so fucking competitive, and then the weight cutting scares me.
Just don't cut weight. I don't cut weight anymore.
You don't cut any weight?
No, I don't cut any
So
weight.
what weight did you win that?
So I walk around, it's a middleweight. So middleweight for jiu-jitsu is up to 177. It's like 167 to 177.
Yeah.
And I walk around usually between 175 and 180. So
aren't you going against guys that are cutting from 220 though? Or
No,
210?
no, not for jiu-jitsu. Usually if guys are cutting weight, it's 5 pounds, maybe 5-6 pounds, because the weigh-ins are the same day, and they're like 2 hours before you go.
Right.
So you're not trying to suck up all that water and then go out there and perform. You're not going to perform.
So Joe, how you think about doing a white belt, blue belt tournament?
I mean, I was so close to doing white belt tournaments, and then I got promoted to blue belt, so I'm sort of like, oh shit. I mean, stepping into a blue belt competition now will be a step above what I probably am capable of doing. But that's always been one of my goals, is to do actual competition. I've just been afraid because I know I'm going to go in there against dudes that weigh like 250 pounds. So I'm in the super heavyweight division.
But you're super tall though, right?
I'm very tall and I'm very flexible.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to like dudes that are big, like my size, they're very powerful. I'm not powerful. I'm just fat. You know, I'm just fat. I ain't gonna lie.
But now's the time to do it, though. Now's the time to do it. The best tournaments I've ever had, I mean, besides this one, this is the only time I've won gold. But when I felt like I performed the best was right at a new belt. Like, because there's no pressure. There's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
You know, you're a brand new blue belt. There ain't no pressure on you to be beating these guys. So just go for it, dude.
I was so happy
Just go
yesterday.
for it.
I hit a Japanese arm throw in practice.
Nice.
Fucking, which I like. I love that. Like, I love because the guy I get hit it just from the guy just coming forward. Like, I just grab
awesome.
it, throw the Japanese wizard. The guy's like, and you can just see his legs go in the air, and the whole class is like, nice throw. They're like, did you wrestle? I'm like, yeah, I wrestled. They're like, oh, that's awesome, man. I love wrestling.
They're all chanting your name.
Yeah. All right, it was one Asian guy, but still, to me, it was everybody.
Hey, that is everybody, man.
Let's talk about some of the fights over the weekend. Your girl lost, Jessie Jess.
Yeah.
I thought she had a good showing, though. I think that she underestimated how good. I told her. I said, Jessica I's got really good boxing.
Yeah.
And she was like, really? Says who? And I was like, but speed kills.
Yeah.
And I think that she was just faster than her. She just got to the punch way quicker. And Jessie Jess's wrestling is what. But the announcers kept saying, well, Jessica I has a wrestling pedigree. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, I mean, just because you can get takedowns doesn't mean you have a pedigree.
She wrestles. But it's not like this credential.
Sarah McMahon has a wrestling
that's
pedigree.
a wrestling pedigree.
But still, it was a good fight. That was, I think, one of the better fights of the thing.
I was also telling you that, like, that week of the fight, the week prior, like, I was getting kind of nervous for Jessie Jess because I was following her on Instagram, and when she got to Singapore, she was, like, doing, like, all these, like, vacation activities, like, out on a boat, partying. When I see that from a fighter, especially during fight week, I get kind of nervous.
Yeah, but some people, it depends. It's like me.
If you got to calm yourself.
Sometimes,
do that stuff,
before my comedy show, I'm checking my Twitter, or I'm doing something, because if I think too much about my comedy show, you could, like, actually, like, fuck yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, mentally, for sure.
Yeah, actually,
For sure.
there was a couple really good events. First of all, the World Series, or the PFL event was great as well.
Yes.
That was probably, they had some great fights in that. Chris Wade lost. That was a fucking bummer, because there's a kid that I definitely root for. My man Smolino had a crazy fight. Smolino Rama, who...
I didn't see that one.
That fight was insane. But I'll tell you, the best fight was the guy who became an announcer. The real OC, Sean O'Connell.
Oh, yeah.
That dude was announcing, And then he goes on, and he had a crazy rock'em. Every one of his fights is like that. It's just, I'm going to punch you, you're going to punch me, and we'll see who falls
Yeah, you gotta
first.
love Sean O'Connell, man.
And he beat Ronnie Marcus in a crazy back-and-forth fight. And then at the end, he's like, my goal is to be a great announcer, and I'm happy I could be an announcer. I'm like, but he was announcing the event before he went and fought.
Before he fought. That's awesome.
But he was taking over a little bit too much. He is a really good announcer, but he was like auditioning or he
Stealing
was
the show?
showing
Yeah.
kind of a little bit. But he did a good job. But that PFL, I just wish that people knew what the fuck it was on because they do no advertising. Nobody knows about it.
I didn't know about it until your birthday.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason I knew about it is because Eve was saying, like, he got the announcer job, and I was like,
yeah, unless
what?
you actually
For
know
the who?
Unless you actually know the person that's
Yeah.
there, it's so stupid. But there were some really good fights for that PFL thing was pretty damn awesome. I'll tell you, it was Will Brooks won.
Yeah.
I was happy for him.
Yeah.
But Brian Foster, that dude is a monster. That fight against Ramsey Nijan was great, and Kayla Harrison looked really good. Efren
looked
Escudero
really
beat Jason High. It was complete bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard about it, and it seemed like it was just...
No, the ref
like,
called a tap.
The ref
there was
called-
no
yeah.
tap. And he easily won
Like,
the
not
first
even
2
a
rounds.
Brazilian tap? Not even, like, the almost, like, hovering the hand above?
Not even like he tapped once.
Jeez.
Like he didn't tap at
Yeah.
all. And then
I
he
mean,
got
and Jason High's a legit black belt. Like, you gotta let him work it out. You
then
know?
he got up and he started throwing chairs around and like getting fucking pissed and he did push the ref again. Not like a big shove, but a little bit of a shove. And that dude is his own worst enemy. And he
Yeah.
doesn't like me. He talks shit about me. So I'm not even a fan of this guy because he personally doesn't like me for some reason. But
Still.
I gotta say the guy got
right
screwed.
is right. Yeah, justice is justice. You know?
Now I'll tell you the best fight of the night was the OSP fight versus Tyson Pedro. That fight.
That was dope. It was only one round, but dude, that had you on the edge of your seat, dude.
OSP, man.
Don't sleep on OSP's submission game, man.
His submission game, but also his punching game. Like, holy shit. That Tyson Pedro fight, that was awesome.
It was.
That was awesome.
I thought he was going down.
Wait, did he get him with the Kimura, or was that sort of like an arm bar? Because
It was
his arm was like all the way straight out.
So it was like it Kimura. It started as a Kimura
All right.
and it turned
Yeah.
into a straight armbar.
Yeah.
Just because he went to punch out and defend. But they announced it as a Kimura, they announced it as an armbar.
Right.
And my
So he
man
won by
Jake
an
Matthews
armbar.
won again, looking
Matthews,
better.
animal.
Ever since going to Canada and training with Faraz, he's a different fighter. Matt Schnell won. Yeah, I was happy. It was overall a really good event. And I'll tell you who looked really good was Yuka Sasaki. He's a guy that trains over with Aljamain. He's one of these New York guys.
Yeah.
So that was good. I liked it. I just at 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning, Friday
Did you actually wake
Friday
up?
night.
Did you wake up for it?
What happened was I started watching it at 1:30 because I got home from I was hosting at the Laugh Factory late, and then there was 4 hot girls that came to the show.
Oh, my God.
That got kicked out because they were talking to me a little bit, but then they kept responding to all the comics. Like
that's
a
the
comic would be like, "Hey, you ever drink too fast and yada yada yada." Yeah, I do that all the time. Like no, he wasn't really asking you personally. What? The guy asked me a question.
Oh my God,
It was
man.
one of
Me
those.
specifically a question.
Yeah. So then they got thrown out, but they were hot. They were married. It was like their 25th birthday, or
they're married?
or one of them
that
had
don't count.
kids or something.
One of them was married to a guy with a boat.
Yeah. But yeah, we found that out during the show. It was really fucking annoying. So I got home at like 1:30. The wife was asleep, and then I'm like, oh, I'll stay up and watch these. And 2 fights in, I was fucking out. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
What did you think
I
of the
don't-
main event?
Cerrone, I thought that it was a good decision. I think Cerrone, I thought he put up a good fight. I think he's a slow starter.
He is. He's always been a slow starter. He has to get into his groove, And that, I don't know if that's like a Muay Thai thing, because traditionally Muay Thai is a slow, that first round is like, all right, we're going to feel each other out, and we're just going to take our time, be nice and be cool, and then go for it. But sometimes that doesn't work in MMA, man.
Sometimes, almost all the time. I mean, the good thing for him is the main event, so it's 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But a guy like him, Leon Edwards won the fight. I'm not sure he even cares if he loses. I almost think he'd rather lose and be exciting than like win a boring fight. Like
Cerrone?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
for
doesn't
sure.
seem like the shit gets to him.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Well, he's got a job, and he's never going to go
his
on like a
job?
losing streak. I'm saying he's got a job in the UFC. He's always going to have a job in the
yeah.
UFC. They're not going to cut Donald Cerrone,
Right.
Even he's not going to go on a streak. It's not going to be a 3 or 4 fight losing streak. So a loss for him, I think he's in it for the journey, you know?
But I think he's lost like 5 out of his last 6 fights, right?
Has he?
Yeah, like something crazy like that.
He beat Yancey.
He beat Yancey.
Well, I'll check. I don't think it's 5 out of 6.
It's like
can't
a
be
lot.
5 out of 6.
But
not
it
sure.
is,
Because when he made the move, when he came up to 170,
He beat Matt Brown.
he
Is
started.
that it?
Yeah, I mean he's been maybe 50-50.
Yeah. Win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
He,
but he's also one of those guys, you know, like at this point in his career, in my opinion, he's fighting because he loves to fight.
And
you
he
know?
also might need the money. I hate to
Yeah.
say it, but I'm not sure how.
Well, yeah,
wise
when you're
he is.
spending on off-road toys and skydiving.
About to have a baby, too.
You're right. He's lost 4 of his last 5. But he
Jeez.
lost to Darren Till,
Yeah, monsters, dude.
Robbie Lawler,
Yeah.
Masvidal. But then before that, he beat 4 in a row. He beat Matt Brown,
Yeah.
Rick Story, Patrick Cote, Alex Oliveira. So yeah, he's a streaky fighter. But he looked like he was in good shape.
Yeah.
And he put on a good thing. It just, I think a prime Cerrone beats Leon Edwards. And I hate to see a guy take too much damage. But
Yeah.
I also don't want to see him be one of those guys, a gatekeeper.
Right.
Because that would suck. Because then, I don't know, just...
But at the same time, you talk about gatekeepers. Michael Bisping was a gatekeeper forever,
and then...
and he stuck with it, and he wins the belt.
Right.
So maybe that's his.
Has Cerrone ever been in a title fight? Has he ever fought for the
Yes.
title?
He fought.
Yeah.
He fought Dos Anjos.
Both Dos Anjos for the title, and then and then he fought Dos Anjos twice. But before that, it wasn't for the title. Yeah, but he's one of those dudes. Just I was a fan of him in the WEC. First time thing he ever said to me was "roast me and I'll fuck you up." That was his first words, and I'm like, that's all you gotta say. And he started laughing, and then he came to my show, and I roasted the fuck out of him. He was super cool about it, and he was supposed to fight Gastelum the next day, and then Gastelum missed weight by 9 pounds or something.
Hey, you know what? If that was in 2018, it would have been fine.
Oh, as far as missing weight now?
Yeah, if you want to miss weight by 9 pounds, it's okay.
I don't get it. I mean, I've never missed weight. A wrestling match, even when the scale was off and half my team missed weight because our scale was different than the other team's scale, I still made sure I was a half pound under where that wouldn't affect. I don't understand this missing weight bullshit.
Yeah.
Especially when you have 3 or 4 months. I mean, especially
they give you a pound.
they give you
If
a
it's
pound.
not a title fight, they give you a pound, so you can miss by a pound. Don't miss by 6.
The only way I could see it is if you take it on a short notice fight. You tell them, all right, I'll fight, but I'm probably not going to make the weight.
Yeah, but then just make it. That's when they just make it a catch weight.
Right.
You know.
Which is what happened, I think, with Efren Escudero against Jason High. I think he was he missed it by 7 pounds or something, but he told him a week before, I'm not gonna make
I'm
the
not
weight.
making weight.
Yeah. So this week, there's some good fights in Bellator, which, of course, they're not doing any promotion for. You would never know it unless you listen to our show. But, this week, Eileen McFarla, or Lena McFarla, I forgot that. Lena McFarlane. She's the
McFarlane.
champion, 7-0, Hawaiian, hot as fuck, that
She
chick.
is.
Jesus.
She's fine.
I mean, and you know what? They have these other girls in Bellator that they promote who are 1-0 or 0-1, and they promote them like you'd think they were the next big thing. And this chick is legitimately. She doesn't have makeup. She's Hawaiian. Hawaiian chicks are 9 out of 10 times smoking hot.
Smoking hot.
Just the complexion of their skin. They have nice asses. They fuck. I mean, in Hawaii, you're supposed to get pregnant at 20, or it's the culture.
They get down, brah. Get down.
She's fighting another girl, Alejandra Lara. What flag
her.
is that? Is it Croatia? I don't know.
Yellow, black,
Russian?
and red.
I don't know what flag this is. I don't even. I know, but this girl's 7-1. I don't know. Once again, they're gonna play it at 6:00, and we're gonna watch Cops on the West Coast. You're not even gonna see it live.
That's the word.
Unless you have the Spike TV app, which they don't even tell you that you could see it live on. Anyway, or Paramount now. It's a Paramount fucking failure the way they're doing this. They gotta play the fucking bothers me so
You gotta
much.
stream it off the internet, illegally stream. I mean,
Well, but then,
legally stream.
Yeah, but you do that, and then all of a sudden,
Always
I get 19. Now I try to go to Google, and it redirects me to 13 different places.
to stream the fights.
Well, yeah, because you start downloading all this bullshit.
Oh no, I got the link, dog. Don't worry. I'll let you know after the podcast.
You gotta hook it up.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't. It's gonna be
I mean,
some
allegedly.
dead body fucking. By the way, is your girlfriend out of the hospital?
Yeah, she's out. She's doing better.
Yeah. So she had brain surgery.
She had brain surgery.
Does she
dude.
remember who you are?
Unfortunately, yes.
Have you had sex with her yet or no?
I mean, no. I mean, she's still like, it's very rough. It's a hard recovery.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure within the next month or two, I'll get it in, hopefully.
You'll get it in.
And if
Damn,
not, I
dude.
got to start worrying.
So she's gonna lose her virginity, and you're calling it getting it in.
Yeah, dude. It's very romantic.
Wait, you're dating a virgin who
Yes.
just had brain surgery.
Yes, dude.
Bro, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Tyler, you have a girlfriend?
I do not have a girlfriend.
You have a thing for Jessica I, right?
I have a huge thing for Jessica I.
What is it
She
about her
is-
you like?
How big
I
is
don't
it?
know. She's gorgeous. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous, and she's a fucking badass, man.
You don't care.
She's
if
a badass.
A little crazy now and then, or
I mean, I'm crazy, so
that's good. All right. I think she would like you.
hey,
I do.
let's make it happen.
I do. She's-
Jessica I, if you're listening, I'll slide into the DMs later.
I honestly think she would like you. She's a cool chick.
There you go.
She likes bad boys, but nice bad boys. And
Yeah.
you're a Marine.
I'm like kind of bad.
Yeah. Also, Saad Awad is fighting Ryan Couture. It's gonna be a good fight.
That's good,
I like
dude.
Saad Awad, man.
I like him a lot too. He's a
I
nice
like
guy.
Saad Awad.
He came over to my house last time when I had the kittens, and he was playing with all the kittens, and he was like, "Oh," he reverted. It was like you would
That's
never know.
hilarious.
This is one of the craziest
That's
motherfuckers.
I've noticed that with a lot of fighters, though, man. Like
They-
you talk to most fighters, the majority are really just normal, cool
Normal,
people.
yeah.
Like very nice, very
And he,
sweet.
and he told me, you know how a guy is by the way he treats animals. Like he was like super like spiritual and like I liked him.
That's awesome.
But Ryan Couture is a badass also, and very underrated ground game.
Very.
Let's see it. He's 11-5, and
Very.
I mean he beat Connor Hune. I couldn't believe he beat Connor Hune. I would have bet the house that Connor would win. And Ryan's a tough dude. Valerie Letourneau, beautiful girl.
Valerie Letourneau, yeah.
She was dating Hector Lombard.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. That's
Taking that big old Hector
They must have
Lombard.
had. They must have had some sex. Those two, yeah. Those.
I don't know who's got a better ass between them. I don't know.
All right, now you're
Hector-
scaring me. I don't think Jessica I's gonna like that part of you, but okay. She's taking on Christina Williams. I don't know who Christina Williams is, but I hope Valerie wins. Juan Archuleta, who's 18-1, but no one's talking about this guy. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. He's a killer.
Have you
He's
trained
a
with
killer.
him? Or you know
Juan
him?
Archuleta. He's Joe Daddy's guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never trained with him, but back in the olden days, I used to get out to Cobra Kai every once in a while and train out there. They're killers, man.
I mean, he's 18-1.
They're killers, and he's good.
And he doesn't even have a fucking picture on this thing.
He's good. He's got good jujitsu. I mean, he can scrap. I'm gonna take him in this one.
He's taking on Robbie Peralta.
Yeah, I'll take him in it. I
do
don't
you
know
know about
much
Robbie
about
Peralta?
I don't know much about Robbie Peralta, but I know a lot about Archuleta. So.
And Joey Davis is on the card. Now, this is where Bellator loses me, right? Joey Davis is on the prelims, right? This guy, he's 3-0. He was a 4-time national champion in college. Now, Division II, but 4-time, whatever. I wrestled D3, for like a month. Those were fucking still badasses there. If you were a 4-time D3 national champion, you were sick. 4-time, never lost in college.
Jeez.
Wow.
All right, so he's on the undercard. Brilliant move on there. And then Ed Ruth, also a guy. You mentioned Ed Ruth. I heard he went to a couple of jiu-jitsu tournaments, steamrolled everyone.
Yeah.
He's a guy they were talking about one of the best wrestlers in college, out there, scary. Undercard as well. He's taking a guy who's 16-2.
Really?
So Andy Murad. I don't know much about him, but
Who?
16-2, Andy Murad. So I'm gonna watch this now. Tyrell Fortune, another guy great wrestler, and Kerry Melendez is fighting. That's Gilbert's wife.
Okay.
And this other girl, Christy Lopez, that came to my show, who is smoking hot. I mean, legitimately, bananas. She's taking on Paulo Ramirez. I don't know who that is. But so the undercard.
The undercard's got some decent fights.
Wrestling wise is better than the main card.
Yeah. Hopefully they wrestle.
Yeah. I hope
We get to see some of it.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. So that's a good event. That's this Saturday. This Friday night. Right? Is that Friday? On the 29th. That's
Well, today's the
Friday.
so.
26th.
Friday night or 29th. Yeah.
All right.
And then next week is PFL.
Wait, we all got the contender series tonight, right?
Yeah. That's been pretty good.
That's been good. The last one was dope. All finishes, I think.
The guy who from Dan Henderson's gym who should have got the card but didn't get it, who won by like some head kick, and then he like quit. He wrote on Facebook, "I'm done. I'm 41." Blah blah blah. He actually came to my show. He was a nice guy. He was
really?
like, yeah, he's an undefeated guy, I think, or some kind of good record. And
cool.
He should have got it, but they gave it to Greg Hardy.
Yeah.
And who's a great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah. Way to go, UFC. That's the
crazy. That's
let's
crazy.
just put John Jones and Greg Hardy can just be the poster child.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. By the way, John Jones. Someone took a picture of him at Target. He's looking soft. He's not looking good.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He looks like Jenny Jones from. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, look at this picture.
How long does he still have on the suspension?
I don't know, but he's also one of the, it doesn't matter how soft he looks. I mean, soft John Jones still is.
Exactly. Soft John Jones is still beating the fuck out of 99% of the roster.
Everybody.
So.
But him and DC are going back. And then Mike Perry posted on Instagram him doing 100 shots with John Jones. I don't know, of steroids or what. Should those two guys be hanging out right now?
I don't know, dude. Like, actual, like, were they at a party or something?
He trains with him now. So.
Oh, yeah, because Mike Perry's at Jackson Wing.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're just talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
100 shots. 100 shots with John Jones.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you go on the underground, they have some pretty funny shit. Like, they actually have. Somebody put a post of one of what's the name's fights of Dan Severn. And I'm a big Dan Severn fan, and he will swear to me that he's never thrown a fight before. But you got to see this video of Dan Severn getting an armbar. That this kid posted, which is always great that I'm posting something on something that you can't see. But if you go on the underground thing, he's fighting some guy who just gives him his arm. I mean, here, I'll show you guys. You being a black belt, I'm sure you'll appreciate this.
Brown belt.
I always say you're black. Who are you a brown belt under?
So I'm brown belt under Professor Jeff Nishi, who is he got his black belt.
Yeah, great philosopher.
That's Nietzsche.
Oh, okay,
but he is a marriage and family therapist. So.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And he's a black belt.
Yep, black belt in jiu-jitsu.
And who is he a black belt under?
He is a black belt under João Silva, part of the Aloisio Silva family, or Aloisio's son, João, who's a 4th degree black belt, I believe.
Okay. And
then Grandmaster Aloisio.
Now, what do you think of Colby saying jiu-jitsu is a big Ponzi scheme so guys can make money on belts? Is there any truth to that?
I haven't seen it. I mean, every sport, every institution is going to have some kind of corruption in it. You can't control individuals, but
yeah,
I mean there's people going out there and competing. Like if you can't hang, then you're not going to hang in a tournament. Like if you can't hang with the guys, then you're obviously not that belt. So you don't see that very often. Maybe every once in a while, but I don't think people are paying to get belts too often anymore because it's so public. Like you can expose people so easily.
What about the online Gracie course? Like where you could earn your blue belt, whatever, never have to actually roll with anybody. That seems a little bit strange, right?
It is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean
I call bullshit on that.
Right.
I call bullshit on that. And I don't know how far that goes. Like, can you get a purple belt online? Can you get a brown belt online?
No,
I think they only go up to blue, right?
Right, which is still wrong.
Which is still wrong, but at the same, I mean, it's like, at the end of the day, okay, fine. Give a couple thousand people a blue belt in jiu-jitsu and let them go get their ass kicked on the street. Like,
right. Yeah.
Like, if that's what you're doing, like, I'm only going to train online, then...
Yeah, I can't decide
you just want to have a belt.
Like I can't decide whether I like wrestling. There are no belts, and I can't decide whether I like that better or worse than belts. I think that there's something cool about the belt system. I think there's a lot of cool with it, and it makes you really respect. You're like, oh shit, you see a guy with a black belt. You're like, oh, that guy's putting his time.
Right.
That guy knows what he's talking about.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many different ways to promote someone. Like our school, for instance, Aloisio is very we're competition heavy. And it's like, for us, if you do good in a tournament, like if you win worlds.
Yeah, so by the way, I'm showing you the John Jones picture. He's not looking that deflated.
I mean, he's not like bad. Deflated. He's still a big
but he's not looking
dude.
like he was in the pictures before when he was lifting weights.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
he also shaved. We haven't seen him with a clean face in a while, so,
Right, exactly.
Forget he kind of looks like a baby.
All right, go on. Yeah, okay.
But so we promote fast, not crazy fast, but like if you win worlds, you're getting promoted. That's how it works.
Of course.
A lot of schools don't do that because their instructors want them to just keep getting medals, or whatever the reason may be. Like I have a buddy, he just got his brown belt. I won't say his name. Just got his brown belt, but he was a purple belt for like 3 years and won gold every single tournament he entered, every single one. So it's like,
So is that
okay,
really
this guy is
fair?
obviously smashing all
And
these
is
people.
that really fair to the other guys?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's smashing all these guys. Like he should be a brown belt, but at the same time, you're not his instructor. You're not seeing him every day. Maybe there's one thing that he does really well that he can beat everybody with, but all his other techniques
And
suck.
maybe
he sucks on top, and he's got a really good guard, and he wants to see him start progressing. So there's
Right. Now,
And
by
then-
the way, Nate Diaz got into another fight in the stands
Yep.
at this amateur MMA event. So that's 2 fights in like a month. But yet, why not get paid to fight?
right. Right?
Nate
Like
is-
you're going to spend all this time holding out for a big fight in the UFC and then go fight on the street?
I do love Nate Diaz, but come on, man. We want to see you fight in an octagon. You're so good. You're so much fun to watch.
good.
People
He's
love
so
watching you. Don't give away your shit for free.
Right.
It's like me going, I'm not doing stand-up comedy, and then I just walk outside and give everyone a 30-minute
jokes.
set.
And he just had a baby
And
too.
you get
which
arrested.
which just came out of nowhere, dude. I
Yeah.
had no idea that happened.
Yeah.
I was like,
He didn't
what?
even know. I
Yeah.
don't even think he knew.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's so angry. But
Shit, take care of this fucking baby.
and then there's another thing that happened also. Musasi is fighting Rory McDonald in Bellator.
Ooh.
That should be a great fight.
What
Well,
belt
wait.
is it for?
I think it's a super fight. So I don't think
Like a
Musasi's
catch weight?
I don't think Musasi's making 170.
No.
So it's probably going to be at 85, which I would think the advantage goes to Musasi. But Rory McDonald is so awkward to fight, though.
Well, and also Roy McDonald is a big motherfucker, man. He's big.
Is he?
Yeah, he's big. He's a big 170.
And also, by the way, so this is the thing I'm showing you guys. Dan Severn, and I saw this fight with Shannon Rich. That looked like a work, which meaning that looked fake. But he's fighting some guy, and the guy just sort of gives him his arm, and then he makes him tap that way. Like, why is he?
Well, that's some WWE shit right there, dude.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't. I don't know if that was a real fight or what, but
Also, the
knows?
guy he armbarred was wearing a T-shirt like I would wear it. in a fucking
Yeah,
ring.
that was for sure like a mid '90s MMA. Stuff was just different back then.
so
man.
I'm going to call Tyron Woodley right now. Hello, Tyron Woodley.
Yes,
It's Adam Hunter. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Tyler Smith and Weendawg. How are you, man?
man, I thought you sound like my agent, homie Phil Tan. I'm like, what the hell, Phil doing?
How are you, man? How's everything going?
It's going good, my man.
Good. And are you in LA? I saw you're in St. Louis, right?
No, I'm in actually Tampa right now. My son's participating in the IMG football camp, so I'm out here with him. Really, to be honest, I'm just kind of hostage in a hotel room because he don't need me. He doing his camp, he doing his football thing, and he's tied up all day, so I'm pretty much just here for nothing.
But I watched your Instagram story today. You were like running, but you said that it was like your hometown or something. You said you were running, getting your thoughts together.
No, I like running by water because one, I don't like running, number one, because my body's meant to sprint. But it's great. It's, obviously it's probably the best cardio I can get for fighting. And also I got a lot of Karate Man fat that's stuck on my stomach that I'm trying to get off. So running is a necessity. So I'm the idiot out there in black sweats and a black skull cap running in 100-degree weather so I can shed some of this jiggly.
Nice, man. Well, good. Now, I got to say, Tyron Woodley, right? So me and Tyron, we've been friends for a long time. I mean, I was friends with you when you just kind of got to the UFC. Then when you lost to Rory, then you came back, and then when you this one, that one, and now you're the champ. I've been with you. Now, one day you text me like, "Hey, man, I want to do stand-up comedy tonight," and I was like, okay. So I'm like, okay, want me to write you jokes? Like, no, I'm good. You show up at the Dime Bar. I have no idea what to expect. You fucking murdered. You had like a 10-minute, 15-minute set. You were singing on stage, doing impressions, telling jokes, talking about your family. People were howling. I was shocked. I no offense, but I was really, really impressed. How did you feel that went? Do you love doing stand-up comedy? How did that happen?
You know what? My buddy Lamar is guy that does all the Champ Camp, Champ Life. So all those series that we do, he's my homie and also a videographer. So we were outside in LA at one point, and me, him, and Dean Thomas were sitting down there, and he is obsessed with the fact that he's funny. And if you don't laugh at his jokes, he completely like, you're trying so hard not to laugh, man. You know that was funny. You know that was funny. So I gave him a lot of crap about it the night before. We was at a restaurant, and I just drove him into the ground about purposely trying not to laugh at me because he wanted me to see what it felt like when I didn't laugh at his jokes. So I said, hey, if you think you're funny, just go and do amateur stand-up comedy. And if everybody laughs, I mean, fuck what I say, then you funny if everybody laughs at you. The moment I said that, you sent me a text message and was talking about, hey, man, come on, watch my show in L.A. Like, literally, I had just said that to him, and then you text me that, and I said, hey, sign me up. I want to come and do stand-up comedy. So that's really, it was purely on a humbug. So as a kid, especially growing up with 13 kids in the house, we didn't have a lot of money to go bowling. We had money to go, to the movies. It was really, a 4-bedroom house with that many people in the house. We had to entertain ourselves. So I don't know what you call it. Some people call it poking fun. Some people call it snapping. Some people call it roasting. We joned on each other every damn day. That's what we did. We joned on each other. That's what we did at the dinner table. We used to do the Apollo where you stood up there and you could not sit your ass down until somebody laughed. So if you stood up there and your jokes was crappy, you would be up there for 30, 45 minutes. So I was used to a very tough crowd, but I did not know, one, the dime bar was like where all the comedy, the comedians, I didn't know that's where they went to test out new materials. And I definitely didn't know fucking Marlon Wayans was going up right after me.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Now, were the stories you were telling about, like, how your pops would beat you, but like on cue, was that true or no?
Everything I said was actually true. So it was funny, but at the time, as a kid, I didn't know I thought everybody was getting their ass whooped every day. So my dad used to stutter, and he was like, didn't I tip. I was like, man, this motherfucker just whoop me, just do sign language or something. But yeah, that was all true and all fact.
Dude, it was great. And then I was like, all right, maybe it was beginner's luck. I gotta see this again. So then I'm like, yo, Tyron, come to the haha. Go on, because I'm like, you're like, okay, you killed harder there. I was like, dude, this is amazing. This is making all the comics look terrible right now.
It was all new material too, right?
All different. He told the whole crowd it was okay to say the N-word at him, right? And he's like,
National Nigga Day. Hey, there was so many people in the crowd. I was like, I was talking about that joke, and I said, this joke is either going to be a home run or it's going to bomb. So I said, you know what? I had the debate. And right when I got on stage, I had the debate real quick. Am I going to do it? Am I not? So I tried to look around the crowd, see how many black people was in the crowd, see how many people that might be willing to do it. Adam, there was not one person that did not scream nigga. This one guy was looking at me, and he was like, his lips was all perked up. He just did a fist bump. He was like, nigga. It felt so good to him to say it.
People ran into the club to say it. They weren't even there. People from outside started coming in. Yeah, it was crazy. No, it was great, man. It was I saw a whole different side of you, Tyron. A whole different side, and I was super impressed, for real. Like, I was like, holy, like, I'm not sure that's something you want to do or blah blah blah, but you definitely can do it, and it was entertaining as hell. So I was
yeah, man, I've been wanting to do it again, man. I've been every time, like anytime you do a movie, it's tough for you to look at a movie the same way. Anytime you do a music, it's tough for you to listen to music. And the same thing with fighting. When I'm watching the fight, I'm kind of breaking it down just because of my job at Fox. So now when I'm walking on the day-to-day, if something happened, my mama is the queen at torturing some words. So every time she says something or torture somebody's name or it always makes me want to get ready to put her in I can do a whole skit on my mom alone.
Dude, I remember your mom from the Strike Force days, and she'd be yelling, praise Jesus during your fights, going and fainting, and you could hear her from the octagon. Now, did that ever bother you, or did that ever embarrass you as a kid?
No, because she's been doing this since high school. When I was in high school, I mean, you're a wrestling coach. You know what a snap down is.
Yeah.
And if you do a snap down, it's a really basic technique for you fans that don't know what a snap down is. You get in the collar tie, which means you grab the back of somebody's neck with your hand. You put your forehead on their forehead, and if they push in too hard, you basically just make your body do the snake. And you sprawl and slam their face in the ground. And then you just gracefully walk behind. It's the most embarrassing takedown, besides the foot sweep. If you get foot swept and fall on your head and somebody take you down, you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
But outside of that, a snap down is the most embarrassing shit ever. So when I used to wrestle in high school, my mom used to wait until she see my opponent leaning too hard, and she used to scream, "You know what I like?" That was like her code word. And just to satisfy her, I used to bounce people's face off the mat and walk behind them. So she switched that up. I don't know exactly what she said in college, but she did that in college. And in MMA, she'll say something. She waits till the crowd gets absolutely quiet, and she screams something to try to get me to do a move. So you say, "Yep, I told you. See, it was wide open."
Now, how many times were you an All-American in college?
Twice.
Twice. What?
2 times.
What did you play?
You know, what's funny is that my freshman year in college, I made it to, like, I've always had the toughest weight class in the country. You know, the guys that in the Big 12 conference alone, the national champion was in my weight, the guy that took second in my weight, the guy that took third, and the guy that took fifth was also my weight. And I was a freshman. So we were the 4 that went to NCAA. And I went to NCAA. I won some, I lost some. I got to the All-American round. So the match to be an All-American as a freshman, I lost in overtime. Then I came back my next year. I won the Big 12s, which is probably, in my opinion, is more important than being All-American, just because our conference was just so murderous at that time. So I won the Big 12 conference. I was the first Big 12 champion in our school's history, and then I All-American. My next year, I was ranked 4th in the country, and I had a shitty Big 12 tournament, and my coach didn't wild card me. So I watched the NCAAs in St. Louis, and out of 8 All-Americans, I had beat 6 of the 8 All-Americans that year. So that was kind of heartbreaking, but I got back on the horse. You know, I thought about stopping wrestling at that point. And I had just my son, TJ, and, you know, I just started really thinking, like, you know I can do it again. So then I just say, you know what? I'm going to just submit to the program, submit to whatever the coaches had me do. They tell me to freaking run through a brick wall, I'm going to do it. And I did it again. And I was All-American my senior year. So it was kind of crazy. You would have thought that someone would have done it their junior and senior year. But I nearly did it 3 or 4 times.
So did you play 6th, 7th, 8th? What was it, 4th?
I played 7th and I played 8th.
7th. I mean, still amazing.
Yeah,
now, is this the same coach
Yeah.
that E.J. Brooks hates? Because according to him, he beat Michael Chandler, but he started Chandler over him?
Yeah, E.J. Brooks was a guy that, I wrestled with him in high school. And he had just started wrestling his sophomore year in high school. So he had abnormal balance and abnormal hips. To be honest, to this day, I haven't really seen many guys like him. He would embrace you. Not with scrambling and funk. His balance and his hip strength was like something I'd never seen before. So he was able to fight off all these takedowns. So starting wrestling in sophomore, he ended up going out, placing in Illinois State, which states like Illinois, California, New York, that only has one class is very tough.
Yeah.
So he placed in that state. That turned a lot of heads. He didn't have the grades to go out, and basically go Division I right out the gate. So he went to he went to Lincoln Junior College, and he won a junior championship. Junior college national championship his freshman year.
Wow.
Then he basically did what they would call a redshirt, so he didn't lose eligibility. Got his associates, went to Mizzou, and he was just a bad style matchup for Chandler. They went back and forth. Chandler performed a little bit better at times, not all the time. At times, and against certain opponents, he performed better.
Yeah.
Against, they both did really well in tournaments, but competitively going against each other, if I had to count out of 10 times, EJ might have won six times.
That's got to be tough as a coach, because you're like, oh, the kid beats him, but he's going to do better in the tournament. So it's a tough situation.
It was tougher. It was tougher as a coach because I'm the reason why Emmanuel Brooks went to Mizzou. But I was also extremely close to Chandler. Chandler was my guy. I trained with him. Him and Raymond Jordan, I taught them how to drill. Chandler was the biggest spaz on earth. And he'll tell you this. This ain't just me saying it. He was always in great shape. His intensity was always buck wild. But my coach as a senior said, here, this is your job. You take these 2 freshmen and you show them how to drill. Raymond Jordan was the strongest damn wrestler on our team. He would purposely not let you get any takedowns during drilling. Then Chandler was, like I said, the Tasmanian devil. So I had to teach him how to basically filter that intensity. And then Raymond, how to kind of loosen up a little bit and not be so stiff. And then by the end of my time at Mizzou, those became my 2 favorite guys to work out with.
Yeah.
They just knew how to flow, knew how to drill. So that was a very tough spot for me. And I did my best to do the most I could for both guys. And when they had to wrestle against each other, I just kind of stood back.
Well, EJ's on a 5-fight win streak, so I think he's finally finding his groove now. It just takes time. You know how it is with comics.
It takes time, and he's been on the short end of some very close decisions. All of the decisions, it was in his power to do just a little bit more, to be more convincing. Yeah. I've been on the same side, of some decisions that were actually really just one decision that was kind of close. So I think he's just kind of learning. Sometimes it takes a while to learn how to fight the rounds. Like, it took me a while to learn how to fight the 5 rounds. And now I kind of got it. So, it's not really much anxiety to go 5-minute rounds.
Now you have a new rap album coming out, right?
Yeah.
Now this rap album,
I gave you a sample the other day.
I loved it. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I played it for Joe and Tyler, and you said it reminded you a little bit of like DMX.
Yeah, I had a little DMX in there.
It definitely makes you go hard.
Now I got to beat your ass, Adam, because I told you to keep it on the low.
No, I didn't share with anybody. I just played it while I was here. That no one's actually gonna have it. I just played it for everybody. I was impressed. as fuck.
The whole thought process with the song is, and I'm gonna be real. It's crazy how this song started. So for you guys that don't know, I've been recording. So I've been quiet. I've chose not to just go back and forth and talk about the interim belt. And for me, I've been abnormally quiet lately, so people think I'm sleeping. But what I've been doing is I've been acting coaching every week. I missed a couple of weeks for my acting coach been out of town, but trying to make sure that I'm prepared for roles that are not tough guy roles, MMA roles, security roles, things like that I can do very naturally. So I've been working on just becoming a better actor. And also, obviously, doing stand-up comedy, doing a couple skits, stand-up comedy sets with you. In addition to that, I've been recording. That's what I've probably been doing the most of. So I've recorded 25 songs. And so I got 2 albums done, EP done, a mixtape done. So my first single is what I let you hear. But I was in the studio till 3 a.m. recording. And I wrapped up my session. And it was a time when Dana got on Fox and told the world I was full of shit. Even though he knew he offered me that fight against Nate Diaz. And I was so mad. And I knew that I couldn't say nothing because obviously every time I say something, I get, completely tortured by the fans. So I try to keep it cool. And as I walked out of the studio, I said, man, I should make a song say, I'll beat your ass. Right now, I'll beat your ass for looking at me. Like, we were laughing because I started coming up with all the different reasons why I would beat your ass, right? As I was doing that, my homie T-Double, his head goes down, he started bobbing. I know he's writing something. So he started writing the hook. He said, put the beat on. He said, I'm going in the booth. So he go in the booth, and he lays down this hook. When I say 2 minutes, he goes in there, he lays down this hook. He starts directing. Tyron, you go in there. I want you to layer it. You and this guy, I want y'all to both chant, beat your ass. Make it like an anthem. Then I came out, and in 10 minutes, I wrote a verse to the song. The whole concept of the song was, there's so many times when you want to beat somebody's ass. They cut you off in traffic. Your boss just fires you. At that time, Danny White pissed me off. I want to beat his ass. So there's so many reasons why you want to beat somebody's ass. So I said, let's do the song. When I thought of the song, I thought about turn the club up, whoop that trick, throw them bows, a kind of anthem song that can be international, that's not overly metaphorical, like the universe is in the stars and line, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, not trying to get too big, just straight to the point. Beat your ass because you got on the red shirt. Just blatant to the point. Right. So I did that. The beat was bananas, the hook was bananas, the lyrics was bananas. And who is really going to contest the fact that I will really beat your ass.
Now, how'd you get
Who would
Wiz?
say that I won't do that?
How'd you get Wiz Khalifa to rap on it?
Well, Wiz is a homie, and he had been training martial arts. And, actually, I went to Ludacris first because when I heard the beat, I heard Ludacris. And what I'm starting to do is as I listen to music and beats and sounds and concepts, I don't know why I'm like, damn, I heard Trey Songz on this, or I heard Ty Dolla $ign on this, or I heard this guy on this, on this song. So I talked to Ludacris about it. And as you know, Ludacris is doing so, he got the Fast franchise, he got Fear Factor, he's hosting the billboards, he's doing so many things and traveling so much. At that time in his career, he wasn't in a music space like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Luda, man, I just heard you on the beat, man. Old school Luda, word of mouth album, throw them bows, anthem, Ludacris. This song is gonna be bananas. So he said, you know what? Let me listen to it again. And he said, I'll do a song with you. When I find a beat or I find something that inspires me, that makes me say, you know what? I gotta do it. Then I'll jump on it. I said, cool. So it was the nicest no that I've ever received in my life.
Okay.
So I shot the beat to Wiz Khalifa. He said, this shit go hard. He said, I'm on it. The next day, I had the verse.
That's awesome. Good for you. I honestly can see you walking out to it. I could totally. And speaking of,
you will see me walking out to it.
100%.
You might even see Wiz Khalifa walking out with me to it.
Now, how do you? I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, Tyron, you're doing comedy, you're acting, you're rapping. What about? Are you getting too distracted? What's gonna be your response to that?
I mean, if they wanted me to just lay and sulk in my sorrow after the surgery and not do anything, and I couldn't compete and I couldn't fight, a businessman and entrepreneur, he finds other avenues. He finds ways to utilize his platform, utilize his business mind to grow as a brand. Overall, I'm an artist. Whether it's mixed martial artist or recording artist, or if it's a comedian, actor, like God created me to be in the arts. So rap is culture. I'm a part of the culture. I live the culture. I came from the culture. It's the reason why I'm the fighter that I am today. So I surrounded myself around, other athletes outside of the MMA. I really don't hang out with MMA people, to be honest. I don't.
No, I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, you know what?
It might be an actor, it might be a recording artist, it might be football players, it might be, just different people that I vibe with because they are the very best at what they do. Their minds are, if you hang out with people that are extremely successful, they're really going to be wired close to the same way. So, I was already cool with Wiz, I was cool with Ludacris, I was cool with Floyd, I was cool with, Devontae Freeman, all these different people. But then I'm like, I've been trying to capture a fan base. Conor captured Ireland, and he made everybody love him and hate him. And he really grabbed so many people. You know what I mean? Floyd did the same thing. He had the barbershop fans. He had the people that wanted to see him lose and get knocked out. He's too cocky. He had the people that loved the flamboyantness and they wanted to ride and get behind him. But nobody was indifferent. So my thought process is no fight on the roster could better grab the urban market than I could. Growing up in Ferguson, family of 13, came from the bottom. Nobody can grab that market better. I can relate to them. I'm really still existing in that realm. So I said, you know what? Instead of me participating and being around it, I'm going to enter into that lane. I'm going to penetrate that lane, and I'm going to actually go in there, and I'm going to try to find success. The same mentality I have as a world champion fighter, I'm going to push that into music. And I knew how much time it was going to take for me to get ready to fight. So what I did was I went ham. I'm talking about when I got done putting my kids down at 10, from 10 to 5 a.m., I was in the studio, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Maybe I stuck a nap in, maybe I didn't. If we had a crazy session that ended at 6, I went right back to the crib, took them to school, did my physical therapy, did my strength and conditioning, did my boxing coaching, picked them back up, fed them, did their homework, took them to wrestling practice, took them to soccer practice, dinner, showers, put them in bed, and I repeated it. Then after I did that for 2 or 3 days, it was time for me to fly out to L.A., doing TMZ, doing UFC on Fox, doing acting coaching, or whatever I had to do. So then it became a vicious cycle, and then we named ourselves Team No Sleep. I didn't sleep. It was months where I maybe got 30, 40 minutes of sleep, or no sleep, or 3 days straight without no sleep. And it became a process that I knew that if I plant a lot of seeds now, develop a sound, get comfortable with my voice, and do that now, when it's time for training camp, now I can push back a little bit.
Yeah.
I can spend one night in the studio a week versus 3 or 4 nights.
I was thinking about that also because
that's just being smart.
It's actually thinking about that because I'm like, you know what? I was getting concerned for a second, but then I'm like, you know what? He's not partying. He's not out doing drugs. He's out working on a craft and hustling and making money also as well. So that's good for you. Absolutely. Now let's talk about Colby Covington, obviously. Now he says you guys trained before and he made you quit. Dean Thomas was there with me.
You mean that time when he left my training camp early because he said his ankle was hurting?
So that's
and he got mopped off my mat like every single day.
So that's what happened?
Probably.
So I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean, Dean Thomas says that that's not what happened, and he was there as far as him beating you.
Well, everybody that was there would attest that that's 100% false. Colby Covington he did what he needed to do. He finessed himself into the position where he'll be fighting against the best welterweight of all times. His talent, his ability, his resume wasn't enough, so he used his mouth. Very similar to what a prostitute would do to try to get what she needed. So he didn't have the skill, didn't have the talent, didn't have the ability, and now he got to the Damian Maia fight, got to the RDA fight, and now he's in position to fight me. So kudos to him, number one. Him and John Harnett, the writer of all the he should have called you. Why didn't he call you to help him write his skits and his memes and stuff? Like John Harnett, the dude from ATT, is writing and it's terrible. Like I'm embarrassed for him. I'm like, if you were doing this by yourself and you thought it was funny and you didn't have that friend to tell you, hey man, you're a douchebag, then I would be a little bit more, a little bit more sensitive. Like, you know what, he's trying his best. But when you have somebody that's writing it with you and y'all twiddling your fingers and think it's actually clever, my God, it's an embarrassment to like the human race.
Now, were you impressed at all by his win over RDA?
I haven't checked out the fight yet, but from what I hear, it was a lot of pressure. I mean, he's a guy that's a lazy piece of shit that does not do nothing in the gym, but he has great cardio. He's always had that since he first joined ATT. Ask your Uriah Faber about him. He'll tell you the same thing. He thinks he's this Miami guy that just on the beach and goes by the, toot of his own horn. But he has good cardio, and he knows that if he can pressure most guys in the division, they're not going to be able to take the consistent attempts to take you down and the pressure, and he knows he's not going to get hit and hurt if he gets close enough. So it's kind of a smart way to fight for his for the skills that he lacks. You don't have punching power, you don't have great striking, you don't have great kicks, don't have great defense, as you've seen with Damian Maia. He left bloody with a jiu-jitsu guy. And he's fighting to the best of his potential. So I really can't hate on him for that. But I got the best takedown defense in the history of UFC. Not just the division. The history of the sport. I have the highest takedown defense. So I don't know what he's going to do.
Now, is there are you not nervous, but are you prepared to not let yourself get emotional? Because I know I've seen fights before
Yeah, I'm gonna make my money. He there, shit. I mean, George don't want to fight me. The Diaz brothers don't want to fight me. Bisping didn't want to fight me. All these guys that say they'll fight anybody anytime, when it came down to fighting me, it's so crazy that nobody will fight me. So now I'm in a position where I'm going to get paid the same money no matter who I fight. So I just need to boost my pay-per-view. So I'm going to talk mad shit. I'm going to embarrass him because he's terrible at joning. And as I told you, I've been waiting on this. All I did my whole childhood is joan on each other nonstop. So, the press conference is going to be extremely embarrassing for him. And
I can't wait for
I'm going to build up this fight, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to mop him up off the mat. But as a professional, the strongest and the toughest aspect of this fight is not anything skill-wise, not anything conditioning-wise. That's a very controllable variable. But the emotion and him annoying, he's so fucking annoying. When he annoys you so bad, it's going to be hard for me not to want to just forget freaking competing and just try to fuck him up. So you're right. I'm going to try to manage those emotions. Me and Dean have been talking about that. And that's pretty much going to be my focus.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was his coach, I would say try to grind him out. If I was your coach, I would say don't headhunt and try to take his fucking head off because you might, because you can grind him out just as well as he can. You're wrestling.
I mean, what is he going to do? Try to take me down? Like, get out of here, dude.
Well, exactly. The one thing that he's great at is you're great
He never took me
at.
down in training, not one time. And when I told Dean, I said, okay, Dean, I'm going to take him down, watch how he acts. So I just schooled him one session. I just schooled him. Maybe in 5 minutes, I took him down 5 or 6 times. For an All-American wrestler, going against another All-American wrestler, that's a lot of takedowns. He was so mad. He was furious, ran off the mat. And he was just so lazy, man. My God, I got so many stories on training camp. I'm going to save most of them for the press conference. But God is so annoying.
I tell you though,
everything about him is annoying.
I'll tell you though, Tyron, this fight is one of the biggest fights I'm looking forward to though, because for what you said, I know there's genuine animosity between you two, and it's going to be so interesting, and it's going to be fun. And I know he was.
I just don't want him to try to hug me and shake hands after the fight.
Really, you don't want that.
No, I just don't want him to try to be, oh man, I just did this to build up the fight. I don't want that. Just take the L, retire, do us all the favor. Nobody really wants to hear him talk crap again. If after he gets beat down like a damn dog by me, nobody's gonna want to hear him talk shit again. The only reason people are listening now because Connor's out, John's out, Ronda's gone. Who is the star right now? They're dying for a star. There's not a superstar out right now. So therefore, fans are willing to know that you're jumping off the rope, falling through the table, and they're willing to accept it because there's nothing else going on right now. So he had perfect timing on when he started his antics. You know what I mean? It got him where he needed to go. He did get into the head. I said this all along. RDA is a better martial artist than Kobe. But if Kobe gets into his head, there's a chance Kobe can beat him surely off that. RDA never got a chance to fight Conor. So we, as fans, we never got a chance to see how he would react emotionally to someone taunting him. Me, on the other hand, I've been prepared to fight Nick Diaz or Bisping or Conor McGregor, guys that I know that are going to do that. And also been prepared to keep my poise and just go out there and do my thing.
Have you ever had anyone that you hated more that you ever fought?
I've never fought anybody I didn't like.
Wow.
Ever. Everybody I fought so far, I respected and I liked.
Even Koscheck?
And many of these guys I was fans of. I was a big fan of Carlos Condit. I was a fan of Robbie Lawler. And look what I did to them. Them people I like. What the hell you think I'm going to do to this clown?
But even like Koscheck didn't get under your skin?
No, I like Koscheck never talked shit. You have to look back at the play-by-play. You know, no crap talk on the internet. Jay Heron never talked crap. You know, Koscheck was a dick to everybody else, but wrestlers respect other wrestlers. That's why Kobe kind of violated the code. You know, he was. You know, remember what happened when Cummings? Not Cummings. Who's the guy that DC fought?
Patrick Cummings.
Yeah, Pat Cummings. Yeah, Pat Cummings.
What's his name?
Pat Cummings.
Pat Cummings. I was confusing Pat and Zach.
Yeah.
Pat Cummings, you know, that didn't work out well for him. He got made an example out of, you know. So Kobe, you know, kudos, man. You'll probably make a couple $100 extra $1,000 that you would have never made. I'm never gonna hate on somebody trying to feed themselves. You know, this sport is hard to make money. He did what he thought he needed to do, but now you got to pay up. You got to put your money where your mouth is. You know, you wrote a check, your ass can't cash, and now you got to get locked in there with me, and you got to get this work. So he'll earn every dollar, that $200,000 or whatever he's gonna make. He's gonna earn every bit of that. He's going there and take this ass whooping.
Are you gonna put him in the music video to one of your songs?
No, I don't. The song is such a dope song. You know, it's a song that basically you can listen to 10, 15 years down the road. So I don't want to add anything that's going to date it, especially not a queef like that.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin the song with his face on it.
Well, listen, Tyron, man, thanks for being on the podcast. I'll see you next week in Vegas, right?
All right, sounds good, my man.
Hey, Tyron, I can't thank you enough, man. I'm a huge fan and a huge friend. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Oh, you got it, my man.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
That was Tyron Woodley. Oh man, that fight's gonna be fucking exciting. Woo!
So now we know who you're rooting for in the fight.
Who am I rooting for?
Oh wait, no, because you've had Colby and Tyron on the pod, so it's gonna be hard for you to choose, dude.
I'm rooting for a great fight.
Yeah, that's the way to go, dude.
I think we're all rooting for a great fight, and I think it's gonna be a good fight.
You know,
it will be.
I've been friends with both of them. I'm just it's gonna be a great fight, dude.
Yeah.
Woodley he's a style killer, man. Like whatever you have that you're great at, he kills it. He kills it. And like the one thing that Colby Covington is great at, Tyron Woodley is as good or better than him. So I don't know. I don't know how I can see Colby winning
this.
this.
A mental game of can Tyron control his emotions, not
right.
Kill his gas tank trying to take his guy's head off, and fight a smart fight.
Yeah.
And if he can do that, but will that be enough? I mean, it should be enough. He's got more power than Colby, but Colby has that X factor of like, it's just going to be a great fight. Mm-hmm. That's what whenever I have two friends fight, I don't necessarily root for any. I kind of root for a draw. You
just root for it's a good fight. You want to watch a good fight.
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
this is basically why the sport is created. I kind of liked it. They don't necessarily love each other, and they're friends. At the same time, it's like I do wish at the end that they would shake hands. Just I'm not a fan of not. But look, I understand why you wouldn't want to do that too. It's just Hey, Phil Baroni, you're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. How's it going? It's Adam Hunter.
Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? Just calling to say hello, see what's new with you.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello. What?
What have you been up to?
Living the dream, brother. What are you doing? What are you up to? Telling jokes?
I'm telling jokes, hanging out. We had a good podcast so far. We had Tyron Woodley on. We have Gary Tonin coming on pretty soon. You know Gary Tonin?
Yeah, that little dude. He's still alive, that little dude? I don't think those midgets live that long.
The jiu-jitsu guy? Oh, you don't. Wait, you're not a fan of him?
What, the What's Happening guy? That little dude?
No, that's Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman died. Gary Tonin. He's the.
No, I don't know Gary Tonin, but Gary Coleman, I used to like that guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, they look alike, but it's a different guy. So I'm just calling you to find out what's going on in the life of Phil. You got girls there, you got weed, you got Bitcoin. What's going on?
You got Bitcoin, hookies, girl, everything, bro. I'm fucking making wine.
Making money. Now, your last fight lasted wine. You lasted 10 seconds. You fucked the guy up in King of the Cage. You beat his ass.
Yeah.
But then you signed with the bare knuckle boxing promotion. When is that going to happen?
I think the next one. Pretty sure. I don't know. Pretty sure the next one.
Okay. Do you have an opponent?
No, not yet.
Who do you want to fight?
Yet. Bobby Gunn.
Bobby Gunn. Isn't Bobby Gunn like 80?
Yeah.
He's 85-0.
Yeah, there you take it.
But you've never had a bare knuckle. You've never had a bare knuckle.
I had a million bare knuckle fights. That's how I started fighting. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, but these are sanctioned. He's had sanctioned bare knuckle fights, not just beating up guys in Long Beach and Freeport behind the fucking 7-Eleven. I mean, these are actually
behind the bagel shop. Same shit.
Behind
hands you don't.
I mean, you had fights in Massapequa at like the park. At, like,
I'm not the shit out of Bobby Gunn, bro. Come on, be serious. I'll kill that.
You honestly think even though he's 90-0 in bare knuckle boxing?
Yeah.
He's had 10 fights since his call started.
All right, good.
You beat me? What? Who are you there with? Who said that?
I got Weendawg and Tyler Smith here. Tyler Smith is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and Weendawg is a blue belt. Is some badass grapplers here. What belt are you?
Black belt.
What belt?
Black belt.
You're a black belt?
What do you think? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I thought you were. I know that you're
a two-time All-American fucking wrestler. I'm a black belt. My belt's black as the con. Tapped and smashing, faggot ass dudes. I played for lessons my whole life.
Well, how come when you fought that guy AJ? What's that guy AJ? Who's the guy that you did?
Yeah.
How come you went him and like overtime? They had you start in an arm bar, and you said
I whooped him. I whooped that guy. Threw him around. Inside out, tripped him from a Russian. Lateral dropped him. He was a fish. Hit him with a double leg across the whole mat. He sucked.
Yeah, but then you said you never did an arm bar in your whole life.
I never did arm bar before.
Well, how can you be a black belt and not know what an arm bar is?
Fuck arm bars. I'm not communist. I'm American.
What do arm bars have to do with communism?
Those aren't American, bro. Those are Russian or some shit. Fuck those.
The Russians are in
Russian
charge of the
armbar.
arm bars.
It's all right. You don't need the jiu-jitsu. You got the hands, Phil. So
That's true.
Yeah.
you just make people respect those hands.
Yeah. So all right. So bare knuckle.
All right.
By the way, I told Dana White that you won in 10 seconds, and that he said you guys were good friends. You and Dana White, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Tell him thanks.
No problem. No problem. Are you going to be in Vegas next week?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm playing at the Stratosphere all week.
What's next week, though? Is there a fight or something?
Yeah, there's two good fights. It's Cormier versus Stipe.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm going to try and get there. Who
Who do you think's going to win, Cormier or Stipe?
Tough fight, man. Tough fight. Stipe's got to be the favorite, but DC's fucking good, you know? DC's fucking good.
Stipe lost to Stefan Struve years ago.
I know, but who cares? Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah. What about Max Holloway or Brian Ortega?
Like Max.
Yeah, me too. But Ortega's never lost, and he's a fucking badass.
Yeah, but still, I like Max better. Max is tough.
Okay. What about who else is on that card? The whole card.
Black Beast and Ngannou, man.
Yeah, the Black Beast versus Ngannou. Who likes
That's
that
the one.
Oh, that's a fucking tough one. Probably a guy. That's a good one. What do you guys like now?
Ngannou. I think that.
Yeah, it'll be hard for the Black Beast to hurt him. It'll be hard for the Black Beast to hurt him.
What about Paulo Costa versus Uriah Hall?
That's a good fight.
What about Yancy Medeiros versus Mike Perry?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis?
Yes, sir.
Who's the best guy you ever trained with?
That's Mark Coleman, right?
Yeah, Mark Coleman. Yeah.
Gotta be Mark
I
Coleman.
mean, I train with everybody.
Yeah, Chuck
I
Liddell.
train with everybody.
BJ Penn?
What?
You were
Yeah, I
playing.
train with, of course.
Who would win in grappling? You or BJ Penn?
I never lose.
I like that attitude.
You never lost in practice to anybody?
Nope.
Wow. That's amazing.
Win or learn, right? Win or learn.
Why someone that said they beat me in practice?
I won't. But how many bong hits are you taking right now, by the way? You sound like you're fucking stoned.
There's no such thing. Try and find some what?
You sound like you're stoned as fuck. When you were stripping for the All Black Dance Team, how many chicks did you bang in the Caribbean?
A lot. That's all they do. They just go there to go on the crew just to do that.
Now, the black girls loved you, huh?
That's the gimmick.
Now,
gimme.
Did girls like Dana? You said before on the podcast that you had a penis pump, and that you would pump it up before the dancing. Did that help?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why you do it. Tie it off.
Nice. All right. Well, Phil, listen.
Helped a lot. Felt good too, but helped a lot.
Did you have a cock ring too, or just a penis pump?
Yeah.
You had a cock ring also? Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. All right. Well, Joe, you should learn from this guy. Okay, this guy's been around.
Man, it's education
This guy's banged thousands of women, thousands. Now he's in Stockton, in Lodi,
He's the best yet.
on Tinder, fucking killing it, crushing it on Tinder right now, crushing it.
It's awesome.
That's
Fucking
the best guy here.
porn stars, strippers, you name it. Phil Baroni has been through them, right? The Baroni Express. Well, listen, Phil, I'll see you next week in Vegas.
Yeah, bro. We'll be there.
Thanks, man. Take care. All right. That was Phil Baroni.
I like how you ask him a question and it's like a 15-second
Yeah.
long pause, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Like giving an option. Did you do this or you do this? Yeah. All right.
Okay, so we're going to call Kayla Harrison right now and talk to her. Hello, is this Kayla Harrison?
Yes, this is her.
Hey, this is Adam Hunter. You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Congrats on your big win. That was huge. That was awesome. You looked amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I was super impressed. How are you feeling? Are you still basking in the win? Are you have you come down from it? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to spend a lot of time basking. I was happy with some of my performance, but I feel like there's so much work to do, and I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. So I wouldn't say I was thrilled, but I'm just happy it's over. I guess I was so nervous leading up to it that just to get the first one out of the way, I think I have a lot of relief.
I mean, it seemed like
but I'm excited to get back in there. I can't wait.
It seemed like you won every second of every round. What mistakes did you make?
Well, I just think, the first 10 seconds we walk out, we shake, touch gloves, but then she starts punching, and I kind of I threw one strike, I think, on the feet, and that was it. One straight. And then I started walking like a zombie, trying to I don't know, maybe my judo instincts took over, and I was like, let me grab you. But that's definitely not the game plan for when I fight, and that's definitely something that my coaches and I worked really hard on. So I'm disappointed that I didn't, I guess, strike a little bit more and try and get my confidence up in that part of the game.
Now they were saying that the first time you went to you were training over at American Top Team, right?
Yep, that's right.
And they said that they threw you in your first day with Amanda Nunez for live sparring. Is that true? Is that what happened?
Well, my second day, but yeah. The first day was Mako's wrestling class, which is always a good time. Yeah. And then the second day, yeah, I sparred with Amanda. But, they were, at the time, Mako and Mike didn't know me. And I'm down there with Big Jim and my boyfriend. And, Tony was like, no, let her, she wants to get in there. Put her in. And, of course, I want to train with her because I want to see where I'm at. That's the whole point of going down to ATT is to test myself and to see what's going on. So, yeah, I sparred with Amanda on the second day.
And how did you land any punches? Did she just beat you up? Did you throw on her head? What happened?
No, she definitely got the best of me. She won every round, for sure. But I think everyone was kind of surprised with how I handled it. I wasn't shy about getting hit, and I wasn't really I think Mike told someone, he was like, it was so crazy. Amanda would hit her square, and then she would just kind of shake her head and then keep going forward. And I don't know if that's necessarily a great attribute to have, but, at least I'm not afraid to take a hit.
Right.
And I think it was really good for me because, obviously in striking, she's one of the best in the world, and she's, just all around one of the best in the world. So being able to train with her is so good for me.
Yeah. Now, were you able to lock up and throw her at all?
I did not throw her when we did the big glove sparring. No, when we put on the little gloves, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
To grab a hold of someone, obviously. But when we did the big glove sparring, I didn't throw her, but I did throw her with little gloves on.
Wow. Now you grew up. I was researching you. I wasn't really that familiar with your story or what you've been through. But
yeah.
So you grew up. You grew up in Ohio.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, actually.
Now, were you a popular kid? Did you? I mean, your mom was a black belt in judo. So did she right away put you in a gi at age 3? She's like, you're doing judo?
No. So my mom actually, she took judo as a self-defense course when she was in college, and then she just kind of stuck with it and got her black belt eventually. And the story goes that when I was young, I saw a karate commercial or something on TV. And I started running around the house, breaking shit and kicking stuff and jumping all over everything. And I was driving my mom nuts. So she was like, okay, we got to take you to do some martial arts. But she didn't want, she knew how good judo was for self-defense. So she took me to the local dojo, and that was, I was 6 years old, and that was kind of it. From that moment on, I was hooked. I loved everything about it. I loved the bowing, and I loved learning how to fall, and I loved throwing boys around, and that was it. I think I did 1 more year of t-ball and 1 more year of dance, and then by the time I was 7 years old, I did nothing but judo.
Now, did you in high school, were you very disciplined and didn't do drugs, or did you party and hook up?
Oh, no. So by the time I was I got my first drug test from USADA when I was 13. So I qualified for the Olympic trials when I was 14. So I was on the national roster by the time I was 13. And at that point, I was already very serious about judo. I trained in the morning before school, and then I would run cross country with the cross country team after school, or I would lift weights, or I'd train with the wrestlers. And then I go from whatever training was there to judo at night, and do my homework in the car on the way, and then wake up and do it all over again the next morning. So by the time I was in high school, I was like locked and loaded, like, training for the Olympics.
Wow. Now, were you like the prior to the school, or were the kids give you a hard time? Like, what's wrong with her? How come not like us? Like, how did other kids?
No, everyone was really. No, I was like, I was kind of like a nerd, not a nerd, but my mom's rule was if I didn't get good grades, I wasn't allowed to do judo, and like my very first report card was straight A's. So if I let my grades slip, my mom wouldn't let me do judo. So I was kind of like a little bit nerdy, I guess. I loved school. It was like the one place where I could go and like feel like normal, like it was my safe place. Like everyone treated me the same, and like my nickname was Judo, everyone called me Judo, and like I trained with all the other like sports. So like I ran cross country, I ran track, I pole vaulted, I wrestled with the wrestling team, and so I had friends through sports, that was my way in. And, but I also left school when I was 16, to train full time. So I only went to high school for 2 years.
Wow. Did you finish high school?
Yeah, I finished, I started when I was 16, I trained full time, and I, did an online preparatory academy, it's kind of for athletes.
Oh my God! Now the wrestling coach. If I'm a wrestling coach. I coach little kids. But if I have a girl that's so good at judo, he must have went crazy, right? He must have been so excited. How did you do in wrestling?
I never really competed during the wrestling season. I was actually my judo coach at the time didn't like that I wrestled. He was not happy about it. So I just trained with them. Really, for me, it was more of a social thing. I had a crush on some of the boys on the wrestling team and stuff, so I wanted to go work out. But I was such an idiot because I'd beat their ass or hip toss them, and of course, no guys gonna be like, oh yeah, great, this girl can beat my ass. She's so cute. So I kind of I didn't really know how to talk to boys.
I don't know. I think a lot of guys that listen to our show would love that. Actually, they probably pay you for that.
Okay, that's super creepy. No, I'm just kidding. But I loved wrestling. I just wasn't, I just did judo. I didn't really, my double leg wasn't really good. I didn't have a strong single. I did, I had a decent half Nelson and stuff like that. But I really wish I would go out there every day and do judo throws.
Right. Now, did you have a boyfriend in high school?
Kind of, sort of.
I would think the guys are very shy. I mean, if I saw a girl that was just beating everyone's ass and it was this Olympic, caliber thing, probably guys are probably pretty insecure. They don't want to get rejected by you. They probably don't know how to talk to you, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was a freshman, I briefly tried to date the captain of the wrestling team, but he was a player, so it was not really. It wasn't in my best interest.
So he hooked up with you and never called you and crushed your heart.
No, not like that. It was just I don't know. He would be I didn't know he had a girlfriend, but he would invite me to go out to the movies, and then
you were a side
I went
chick?
to. Yeah, I was the side chick, I guess, looking back, but I didn't know it. You know,
a gold medal side chick. That's fucked up, man.
That is fucked up. He knows who he is, Mike.
Yeah, fuck Mike. You're an idiot, dude. You blew it. You blew it. Now,
you blew it, you putz.
You putz. Okay. So then you go on and you win 2 gold medals. 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
I mean, now were any of the matches close? Or you just steamroll everybody?
In 2012, it was much more we didn't, because no one had ever won a gold medal from the U.S. before. So in 2012, it was kind of can she do it? I wasn't ranked number 1. I was number 4 in the world. I was young. I was 22, but I won. I didn't get. Oh no, I almost lost in the quarterfinals of London. I actually got thrown.
Oh.
And I was really lucky that I didn't lose. I came back and beat the girl, and then I went on to win the tournament. But then by the time Rio came around, I was number 1 in the world. I'd won everything, and I didn't get a point scored on me all day in the tournament, and I won all of my matches by ippon, which is like a knockout in boxing. So I was pretty, in one Olympics, I was like, oh my God, can't she do it? And then the next Olympics, it was like, oh my God, she killed everybody.
Which one was more fun to win?
It's like asking like which of your kids is the favorite. You know, they were so different. Both really different experiences. I mean, London is amazing because it was the first. No one had ever done it, you know?
Right.
And Rio was amazing because I knew it was my last, and I think a lot of people didn't think I could do it again, or I couldn't deal with the pressure, or X, Y, and Z. So proving to myself that I was the best in the world and that, I was something special. Rio was bittersweet, and London was just sweet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's still like amazing, and the fact that you won 2 gold medals. I mean, and then no one ever
Thank
did
you.
it. No one ever did it. Now, did you have a boyfriend when you were? Now, when you won, did you have a boyfriend then or no?
Yeah, I mean, both times I had different boyfriends.
Really? So how come you can't keep a guy? What's going on?
I know. I think it's really hard to date me, to be honest. I'm not gonna pretend like it's their fault. It's probably my fault.
Okay, is this because you're a perfectionist? You're strong. Your arms are so big. You give great handies. I mean, talk to me. Why is it so hard to date you?
I think it's because I'm crazy. You know, I mean, I'm very. My boyfriend's in the car, and he's like, "Well, now you're dating a real man."
Oh wow! Wow. Okay, got it.
No, I think it's just I'm an extremely driven person, and I think to be an Olympic athlete or to be an MMA fighter, you have to be extremely selfish. So, you always have to sort of put yourself first. You're not really that fun. I don't go out. I don't party. I'm in bed early every night. My idea of a good time is like ordering a pizza and watching the fight.
I'm falling in love right now, by the way. I'm actually going to leave my wife after hearing this. This is you are my dream girl. This is amazing. So.
Oh, thanks.
No, but I mean.
But I'm also crazy. Like I don't know. I mean, everyone. Everyone has their ups and downs, and I don't know. I think it's tough to date someone who's married or who's like in love with what they do. Judo was always my first love, so it's hard to come second to that.
No, I totally. Now, who's your boyfriend now? Is he a fighter?
Yeah, he's a fighter. His name is Tony Martin. He fights at 170.
I know Tony Martin. He's a great fighter.
Oh, you know Tony Martin?
Yes.
Yeah, he is a good fighter, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's all right.
He's a really, really good fighter, Tony Martin. That's great. I had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, you guys must have crazy sex. That's good for you.
Oh my God. Yeah, he told me you're really funny.
Oh,
I follow you on Twitter and I see all of your tweets and I think they're hilarious, but I haven't actually seen any of your stand-up or anything, so I don't know if you're super funny or not. But he said you are.
Oh, thank you. Are you? How long are you?
He's the reason that I decided to come on the show with you.
Tony, thank you. Tell Tony when Tony wins a couple more fights, he'll be on the show too. Now.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
you think Colby Covington talks shit? You should hear Tony Martin. Let's put it that way.
Now, how are you dealing with the whole Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley feud? Because I know they're both American Top Team. Whose side are you on?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so new to the team. I don't really know about the beast that well.
Right.
And I really don't care. It's not my business. And may the best fighter win.
There you go. I'm friends with both of them. I feel the same way. I can't wait for the fight, though. The fight's going to be awesome. The actual fight is going to be
I think it's going to be pretty good, yeah. I think it is.
It's going to be incredible. Now you're interesting because you're 155, and right away everybody's mentioning Cyborg to you. Cyborg. I'm like,
I know.
This chick's had one fight. Cyborg has been.
I know.
I mean, is that annoying for you? Are you let me get a couple more wins first?
I mean, it's annoying because reporters always do this. They love to create drama or do something out of nothing, So they get this little taste or this little inkling, and they're like, before I even fight, people are like, "Are you going to fight Cyborg?" And I'm like, "Well, my goal is to be the best in the world. So obviously, if you want to be the best in the world, you have to beat the best in the world. So yes, my goal is to someday fight Cyborg. But is that today? No, I'm not ready yet. And I know I'm not ready, and the rest of the world should know I'm not ready. I'm 1-0. It's not like I'm 7-0 or 8-0 and I'm steamrolling people. Like I just barely got started, you know? So
100%. And then the other thing people talk about is you and Ronda Rousey being training partners. Are you and Ronda close? Are you guys still close? Are you guys friends? What's the deal there?
Ronda always used to describe us as frenemies. And I think that's like a really good way to put it. So we were teammates, we're roommates, we're training partners, and we're friends, but we were like kind of like friendly enemies. Like we both were so competitive, you know, and growing up, I wanted to be her. Like she was the Golden Girl, she was the Junior World Champion, she was the Olympic medalist, she was the world medalist, and I wanted that. I wanted that spotlight. I wanted the coaches to pay attention to me. I wanted to be the best girl in the room. And that really drove me and gave me a lot of motivation growing up. And now today, even still, you know, it's crazy. Like the whole world knows who Ronda Rousey is, you know, and like it's pretty funny because like Big Jim and Jimmy, our judo coaches, were like, we were all at practice one day, and, you know, Jimmy loves to tell the story how like he had Ronda and I go together, go live. It's called randori in judo, so it's like sparring. And we're going live, and something happens, and then, you know, I throw her, and then she throws me, or I throw her, and then she arm bars me, or something happens, and then we get up and we go, like, we're both pissed off. And then we both go with different people, and, like, something happens, and both of us, like, are on the mat, and we're crying. And Jimmy looks at it and fucking believe we have the two toughest women on the planet, and they're both crying right now on the mat with us. Like, they're supposed to be these big, tough girls, and, like, we're just, like, bawling our eyes out. It was pretty funny. But that's kind of like, I don't know, our relationship has always been friendly fire, I guess. You know, like, we're always trying to one-up each other.
You got two extreme alpha females who are both perfectionists, and it's hard. But
yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, our personalities could not be more opposite, but our goals have always been very similar. So we are, you know, and our competitive drive is very much the same.
Just don't sign with Coach Edmond, whatever you do, okay? If Coach Edmond calls you, hang up the phone and run. just
Yeah, he followed me on Instagram or something, actually.
Block him.
And was like liking all of my pictures.
No, block him. Run. Stay with Mike Brown. Whatever you do.
No, I love my coaches now. I feel like I'm in the perfect spot for me.
No, you're doing great. I'm so happy for you. You're a breath of fresh air. But I gotta say,
thanks.
No, 100%. When I was looking at your story, and I looked you up, and I had no idea that your coach sexually assaulted and molested you as a teenager and is now in prison for 10 years. Like, holy fuck. I mean, you could be in a fucking rehab smoking crack and it would be justified. I mean,
I was wondering how you were going to make a joke about my past, but you did well there. I like that.
Well,
no, it's good. I like it. Yeah, no, I mean, I tell people all the time, you know, like I was extremely suicidal. I was very depressed. I was going down a dark road, and judo and the Pedros really changed my life and saved my life. And if it weren't for them, I would be in a crack house somewhere probably, or, you know, maybe not even alive. So I'm lucky. I mean, obviously what happened sucks, but I do feel like I've been given this platform for a reason, and 2 gold medals for a reason. And so I wrote a book called Fighting Back, and it's about, you know, it's an educational book about what sexual abuse is and how we as a society can start to prevent it.
Well, it's amazing, and the fact that you go and people can hire you to go speak to people about it is like, it's just so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're amazing. I'm having a daughter in 4 weeks, and I'm gonna show her your picture.
Oh, congratulations!
She comes out of the womb. I'm showing her your videos, just so you know. And because
thank you.
She's gonna win 3 gold medals.
So I'm gonna send you a copy of my book then, so you know what to look for. Okay?
I would love that. I would be sign it too.
Yeah.
Sign it.
Okay, I will. I will.
Absolutely. And Kayla, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy that you found a guy like Tony. Don't break up before the podcast is over, because that'll be awkward. Okay.
I don't think we're breaking up anytime soon.
Good. I am 100% a big fan. I am rooting for you, and thanks for being such a.
Thanks.
All these women on Instagram, and they're showing their tits, and their vaginas are everywhere, and they're twerking. You're not doing that, okay? You're the other side. So
That's right.
So thank you.
I'm wholesome, but I keep it real.
Wholesome, but you keep it real. That should be your motto. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, Kayla.
No, thank you so much for having me.
I am a fan for life.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. All right, well, that was our podcast. Thank you, Tyler Smith. Now, are you going to fight again, or you got the itch?
I don't know. I've been talking to my coach over at Coeur d'Alene Gym in Venice. We're talking about it. So we'll see if I can get my cardio back up. I'm gonna give it a couple weeks. I messed up my knee in the tournament this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, just like a little sprained LCL. So I'm out for a couple weeks. But
now, did you sub anybody, or did you win by?
Yeah, so I won. I was beating them 8-4, and I got a knee bar with 30 seconds left. So
nice.
Yeah, I've actually knee barred the same guy in tournament twice. So
you think he would learn?
Yeah, you think he'd learn, but it's all right. He went for my legs first, so I had to let him know what was up.
You're a man amongst men. All right, and Joe the Kid Perez, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, dude, got a big announcement. On the last Weendawg Radio, I announced that some things are going to be changing for the podcast. So I officially changed like the format and the theme of the podcast to where I'm specifically only going to be talking about like paranormal stuff, like ghosts, murders, mysteries, conspiracies, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. We're going to go deep. So there's a big tonal shift in the podcast. So go check out.
Do you know anything about these things?
I'm balls deep, dude. I'm balls deep in that stuff. That's why I'm more passionate about that than just talking about what I did that week. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
You know, so I want it to be a more well produced and more professional show.
All right.
And yeah, so go check out. It's going to be called the Paranormal Hour. With
You're a
Weendawg.
paranormal person. So
I am very
personal.
paranormal.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
I like it. And
Yeah.
and then what do you coming up? Where can people follow you, by the way, Tyler?
You can get me on Instagram, Smithero39, SMITHERO39. Twitter, same thing, except I never use Twitter.
Now, if I wanted to get privates from you, do you teach privates?
I do teach privates. You can send me a message on Instagram if you want to learn some cool jiu-jitsu.
And then you also teach classes, right?
And I also teach classes. I teach classes at Coeur d'Alene Gym in Venice, 12923 Venice Boulevard. 9 a.m. Monday and Wednesday, I teach jiu-jitsu in the gi. And Revolution Martial Arts in Culver City, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 in the gi. It's a fundamentals class. Fundamentals class. So all levels are welcome, but geared mostly towards white and blue belts.
Love it. That's me. I will be in Edmonton this week, tomorrow night through Sunday at the comic strip in Edmonton, Alberta. Then next week I'm going to be Alberto. He's a good guy. I'm going to be in Alberta. Next week I'm in Las Vegas at the Stratosphere, Monday to Sunday, and I'm also going to be writing the MMA awards. I wrote all the sketches this year. They're coming on really funny. That's Tuesday night at the Palms. Go on Ticketmaster if you want tickets. And then I'm in Ventura Harbor, July 13th and 14th at the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club. And then in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, July 18th to the 21st at the Carolina Comedy Club. Then Springfield, Illinois, August 30th and September 1st at the Blue Room Comedy Club. Chattanooga, Tennessee, September 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Comedy Catch. And Rochester, September 20th and the 21st in Rochester, New York. And then Vancouver, September 28th, 29th, Vancouver at Laugh Lines. So hit me up if you want tickets. Thank you, Tyron Woodley. Thank you, Kayla Harrison. I talked to my man. He can't do it this week. Gary Tonin. He's teaching a class, and we fucked up the times, but we'll have him on later on this week. I'm going to be in Edmonton, so I'm going to do a podcast with Mitch Clark, and we're going to call Gary Tonin.
Nice.
Maybe set up a super jiu-jitsu match between Gary and Mitch.
Yeah.
I know Mitch is looking for an opponent, and why not? Why not beat Gary Tonin? So thank you all for listening. Tyler, you're the man. Weendawg, you're the man. Take care. Have a great week.
Hurken okkur trap sonsen Trap sonsen trap donsen Túni sonstu húkjum dörrbóllan Það stoltan dörrbólta voru það